fly. Oh, so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. Oh, the ramparts we walked were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular upon spur, singing out, yeah, through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Welcome to Inside the Gamecocks, the morning show, presented by the West Law Firm and Resto Pros of the Midwest, part of the Chief Sports Network, and proud partners of On3, Go Gamecocks.
He'll be fine on the mountain.
That's a win! Ball is way out of here. 5 consecutive home runs for Carolina. It is good. It's gone. He's in. Touchdown. Williams with a throw to the plate. He's going to score. It's a walk-off. Touchdown, South Carolina.
We're ready to turn it on and crank it up today. Everybody surprised?
Hello.
Hello.
This thing-
Jamie Bradford is out today. I'm Veronica Corningstone. Jamie Bradford has the night off now. This is JC Sherwood here. JB's under the weather a little bit. Just couldn't go. It was a game time decision. We went back and forth. So I capably am going to fill in with him today. It's obviously Monday. We are within 2 weeks of starting the college football season. Mike Morgan is in. Hello, Mike.
Good morning. Always the last to know, but happy for the surprises.
Yeah, it was a last minute deal there too. It was kind of like an injury. Like, can he go? Can he go for third down? Can he go for a quarter? And then finally, it's like, nope, ruled him out. We ruled him out at the last minute. So, Mad Dog Phil Mullinax is in. We'll have Wes Mitchell in first segment or first hour, and then Mike will have. I believe Mike will have something. I don't know. Mike will be talking about SEC football or something this week. So yeah, so that'll be all good. But yeah, so
oversell it now. Just keep.
Yeah, I'm gonna under promise and over deliver. Right. That's
we
that's
definitely
the
accomplished
thing
that. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely thing there. So we got the McKellar Enterprises Chat Box. South Carolina did have a scrimmage over the weekend. It was much more guys like the first scrimmage normally is. Defense got the best of the offense. in many ways. I guess they won the day. That's the phrase I keep getting. They won the day.
They won the day.
Win the day.
There you go.
I think that was Hugh Freeze's motto, win the day. He didn't win the day too many times at Auburn, did he?
No, I was gonna say that. He might have should have changed that up.
He's winning Saturdays afternoons at the golf course.
That's right. Yeah.
From what my Auburn people tell me,
around.
he was winning those days. So, and South Carolina did pick up a late, newly eligible cornerback out of the transfer portal over the weekend. Wes Mitchell, who broke that news from GamecockCentral.com, of course, is joining us later, and we'll talk about that. But in the chat box, Dexter asked, McKellar Enterprises Chat Box, is DQ Smith coming back? No. He's going to go somewhere else. He was part of that lawsuit where he got another year of eligibility, and but he's not coming back to Carolina. Those that ask why I shaved my beard, it's because I got a haircut, and I usually have them trim the beard, and I had them trim it up to a certain extent, and I thought it looked like crap. She didn't really do a good job, and so I said, I've got to start over with this. And so
Start fresh. There you
go. It's not completely gone. I still got a little masculine stubble going on, but it had nothing to do with the Amish beard, because guess what? I was all in on the Amish beard.
Yeah.
Had she, I mean, it looked like this, like, you know how dogs sometimes, unfortunately, it's really sad when you see a dog that's kind of been out in the wild and their hair gets all matted. Like, she got done with the beard and it literally looked like that. I was like, no, this lady doesn't understand beards. So I was like, I just have to go with the one guard, if you don't mind.
That's right. Take it.
So that's the story there. Krager says it looks better. Thank you, Krager.
Oh.
I appreciate it. Somebody said JC went back to the pre-werewolf formation. The Teen Wolf dad is on hold for now. I did kind of look like the dad. Remember the dad for Teen Wolf? He comes around the corner and he's got, like, all of a sudden he looks like he's like, hey, here we go. He lets Michael J. Fox know that he's a werewolf too.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty interesting there. So on that note with Ethan Johnson, and Mike, just let me know sound check. Well, sound check real quick.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Reese.
You're there.
Eric picked up on it. That's my bad. I had the wrong laptop setting, which happens from time. It goes default to the wrong setting. So
it does, man.
Not a very smart computer.
It does to me too. You know, I mean, it's all of us. And the computer's just like, oh, I like they're trying to read our minds. Like, we just think you want to go to the default, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It sucks.
So Daquan Wright
found out over time. So we should be good now, I think.
So Ethan Johnson, Wes will fill you in on him. I kind of looked at his background, and he's from actually Huff High School, where Josh Dobson and Davion Jones are from in North Carolina. Has been at App State all 4 years. Was like a second team All Sun Belt 2 years ago in 24 or 23, and then or 2 seasons ago prior, and then was third team last year. Seems to be a pretty active guy, good tackler, physical player. He'll step in and provide depth. I think that with the depth being so young at corner, that's a good pickup. But we'll talk about him later. He was not with the Cleveland Browns in training camp. But Daquan Wright, who is now heading to LSU, Mike, was. I think he caught a pass in a preseason game.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know how I feel about pros. I've always admired LSU. I love their fans. If LSU would be a team that would kind of be on the list if the University of South Carolina just went away. LSU would be on the list of teams I'd probably adopt as my favorite. But it just sounds like they were like upset because Brian Kelly didn't win, and whatever happened, and I don't know. They just sound. I mean, they of all the schools are really pushing the envelope with this pro thing, not just in football but in basketball too. When they're trying to get RJ Luis. I mean, that dude's been. I mean, I remember he played for Frank Martin at UMass. I mean, that he went to St. John's. I mean, that dude's been history. And then this guy, Wright, was in a preseason game in a training camp. I mean, what did he do? Go to the Browns about, hey, cut me because I'm going back to college. And now it looks like he's going to LSU. And it's all because of a Judge Beauregard T. LaFleur or whatever down there that's president of the Bengal Tiger Club. I don't know that for sure. Just making these, okay, oh, yeah, that's all right. We'll just make it LSU. We'll get some players out of this. I think I don't think there's anything you can do about the legal process, Mike. I think at some point coaches and administrators have to kind of start making decisions that are good for the game, right? Or the conference does. I don't know what the solution is, but it kind of just makes me sick to my stomach that these guys that were in guys in NFL training camps are now coming back to college at this late hour.
Yeah, I'm waiting for LSU to, in the middle of baseball season, a third round left-handed pitcher gets cut in spring training by the Braves, and there's LSU on the phone going, "We'll take you. He hadn't played in a big league game yet. He's eligible." Even if you're an undrafted player playing preseason football, you're still getting paid. It's something like I think it's $3,000 or $7,000 a week. That's not bad money. It's not life changing, but you're still getting paid. You're getting a check that says Cleveland Browns on it. It's not like a government check. It's not it's a professional team paying professional dollars. So we've now jumped the shark on all of this. We've decided we can go ahead and pretty much break any rule on the books. There's nobody running the sport. There's always going to be a judge that will find in your favor. It's what I talked about when you and I were discussing the NIL before it happened, 7 years ago. And I said, you can bet your bottom dollar that's going to be pay for play. That's not going to be true name, image, likeness, market value. It's going to be artificial demand, and it's just going to be buying players. And that's exactly what we are. Okay, fine. Then the $20.5 million cap. Yeah, people are going to circle. Yeah, but all the deals are going to have to go through some clearing. No, that's deterred nothing. We have
not a thing.
Nothing. $20.5 million is really the floor. It's not the cap. The cap, as we know, when teams like LSU and Miami and Texas A&M and Notre Dame are all spending over $40 million just on football. So we basically have let everybody know we have no control over this thing. It is a rudderless ship, and by golly, LSU is to your point, they're telling everybody, we don't like losing in football and basketball. We should dominate the big three. Women's basketball, they'll worry about that whenever they would worry about it. But we're going to dominate the big three, damn it, because we're LSU. And you know what? You used that term caged animal hire years ago, and I still use it today. They're making caged animal moves, JC. They're not just hires. They're making caged animal moves, one after the other, and basically saying, we have the funds, we've got the people writing the checks, and we plan on dominating as much as we can the three major sports. I applaud the passion, but I think it's just another sign of how ridiculous everything is right now in college athletics.
Yeah, their basket. I don't know that their basketball is going to do much this year because I don't know that.
I don't know if they're going to have 5 players.
A lot of these guys are going to be eligible, but it'll happen eventually.
Eventually, they will turn the corner. You bet.
They just and with football, they may not quite have the. I mean, I don't know. They keep getting pro players. Who knows? I mean, they may not quite be as good as they're going to be because they're going to be really good. But they're heading in the right direction. You're right. It's a caged animal moves.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what set them off. Probably because they won a national championship, and they've been relatively mediocre since. That is actually the history of LSU football. For those that don't know, if you look back, they're not always up. They're up and down, up and down. Now they don't have a floor. Since Saban got there, they have a floor. If they win 7 games, bad year, right? But they're between 8 and 10. If you kind of look through it, Les Miles didn't win 10 or 11 games every year. But then a lot of people will say that That's because they didn't have the right coach, right? So,
Well,
so they're hoping Lane Kiffin can be consistent. But you look back. So in 7, they won 8-16, and Les got fired. So then 9-17, 10-18, 15-19, and then 5-6-10, and they won the West, and then 10 again, and they had a Heisman winner, and then 9-24, and then 7 last year. So they kind of just go up and down. I mean, but there is a floor, and I think they were just sick of it and saying, all right, we're going to go all in.
well, to your point on the history of LSU, there's this gap between Billy Cannon winning a Heisman Trophy and LSU winning a title in the 50s to Nick Saban winning the next one in the early 2000s. And if you break that down and you go through guys like Curly Holman and Jerry DiNardo and others, LSU was not a dominating program at all. They really didn't register that much. And for the life of me, I don't know why, but my growing up and watching college football, LSU, you had a little bit, the Tommy Hudson era was a lot of fun. But I don't know LSU as a dominating program as a kid. Mm-hmm. And in my early adult years, LSU was just another team in the SEC. And Death Valley was fine. It was cute. And everybody talked about how rowdy he was at night. But, you didn't look at LSU in the same way. Well, then you win 3 titles with 3 different coaches.
Yeah.
And as I like to joke about, and look, I really like these guys. Because I've been in the room with them and I've talked to them, and they're fun guys. But let's be honest. Les Miles and Ed Orgeron, not exactly nuclear physicists of football, okay? And so the feeling is, if they can do it, you can hire almost anybody that can do it, because the power of LSU, that is mightier than the hire itself. Well, Brian Kelly said, hold my beer. I'm going to show you LSU can be mediocre, damn it. And he pulled it off. And so they got rid of him in short order. And then you just said, the hell with it. Caged animal hire, caged animal move, caged animal money. Bam, bam, bam. And it's going to be fascinating because LSU now, and I think they love this role, JC. I know Kiffin loves it, and I sure as hell know Will Wade loves it.
Good God, yes.
They love being hated now. And they have taken the mantle. You might have grown up hating SEC team XYZ. You hate LSU now. You hate everything about the way they're going about their business, and you want to see this thing fail miserably. And we'll see. I think it's going to be a fascinating case study because, as you pointed out a number of times, money doesn't necessarily buy you championships. There's a lot of programs that are spending a lot of money that have not won big prizes. But I will say this, I'd rather be in the $40 million club than the 22. So
in the SEC, absolutely.
You're right. I mean, they've got some advantages right now that even if it doesn't happen this year, I'd be shocked if LSU is not competing for titles pretty soon.
Yeah, and Lane's such a good recruiter, and now they got Coach O. I mean, they could just turn him loose and let him recruit, because now you can let anybody recruit as long as you have no more than 10 on the road at once. You can literally send Coach O into everybody's living room. That guy's one of the best recruiters in the history of college football. I mean, say what you want. That guy he's convincing. I don't know how he does it. He's very
before he had $40 million to work with.
Dude, and I'm telling you, in Southern Cal, he was Pete Carroll's number. I'm going to go get Mike Williams out of Tampa, Florida. I'll be right back. I'll get on the jet. Okay, Pete. Yeah, bro. Go, bro.
What was the book by Feldman? Meat Market?
Meat Market, yeah.
He's featured prominently in that.
Oh, yeah, man. He's if you ever talked to Ed Orgeron, he's actually very intelligent when it comes to that stuff.
Yeah.
I just think he talks funny. He's actually decent.
And extremely likable. That's all these kids care about. I mean, they don't care if he's, if he can pass a test at the DMV as long as they feel comfortable with him, and he has that ability to do so. I know the music's hitting, so let me mention the fine woman behind me. That's Renee Fryer, in case you're wondering. It could be like my Obi-Wan. I don't know. It would be my Obi-Wan if I'm buying or selling a home in South Carolina. Renee Fryer can help you do that with Home Advantage Realty. Have the home field advantage on your side with Renee Fryer of Home Advantage Realty, 803-271-4777. Now, a smarter person would have not put that backwards, but I'm not a smarter person. So I like to challenge myself and the listeners when that number pops up, because I think that's the only place it's going to pop up. 803-271-4777 is Renee Fryer. Call her today. They'll take terrific care of you at Home Advantage Realty.
All right. Is Wes coming up now? All right. I'm
Yes.
trying to navigate the boat here. I'm usually on Jungle Cruise duty.
That's right.
And,
They put us on
I'm
Pirates
over
of
at
the
Epcot
Caribbean
at the
tonight.
Land today for a Disney World reference. We'll be back after this on Inside the Gamecocks, the morning show.
Join thebigspur.com and Gamecock Central today for the best Gamecock coverage in South Carolina. Proud partners of On3.
Whether it's fireside or poolside, if it's time to watch the Gamecocks, Palm Casual will make your outdoor space the best it can be. Visit palmcasual.com and come see us at one of our South Carolina locations. Go Gamecocks!
Why are you throwing all that money over the falls? If you're buying a Honda or Toyota, that's exactly what you're doing. Look at the Kia Sorento. Get a third-row SUV for $8,000 less than the Highlander. Toyota only has a 5-year warranty. JT's Kia has a 1,000,000-mile warranty.
Don't forget JT's Advantage Package. Oil changes, roadside assistance, and so much more.
Choosing a Sorento over a Highlander is a no-brainer. More features, better warranty, and you save over $8,000.
We're serious about saving you money.
Killian Road, I-77, or Greystone Boulevard.
JT's Kia.
Shopping at Gamecock Traditions is easy. Just pick up your phone. Type in GamecockTraditions.com. Select your items and purchase. They will ship it to your doorstep. GamecockTraditions.com.
The Aventon Adventure 2 takes the same basic design as the original Aventon Adventure, making it an adventure bike designed to take you places that typical roads just don't reach, allowing you to ride whatever terrain you want based on your whims of the day. Look at what you're getting. Hydraulic disc brakes, torque sensor for responsive pedal assist, great LED lighting, suspension, a beautifully welded frame with excellent build quality, included rear rack, included fenders. The list just keeps going on.
Visit electricbikescharleston.com for more.
Sell your quality sports and fitness equipment to Play It Again Sports and get paid. Recycling your in-demand sports gear keeps it available in your community. Sell, buy, trade, and win with Play It Again Sports.
If you need a new fence, railings, even new columns, there is only one call in South Carolina. Gamecock great, Ryan Brewer. Over 15 years in the industry. Visit ryanbrewer.net today.
Watch JC and Morgan every week on the Chief Sports Network. Now back to ITG. You're tuned into Inside the Gamecocks, presented by the West Law Firm and Resto Pros of the Midlands. Part of the Chief Sports Network. Go Gamecocks!
Show. This is JC Sherbert. Hey, Wes.
What's up, guys? How we doing?
Good. I'm in for JB today. he was a late scratch. He's under the weather.
Oh,
So, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no. I mean, we went right up to about 15 till going back and forth. He was going to try to get into CU. The last thing he said before he turned on the show tires and took a power nap was, "Tell Wes, I tried."
Well, all right. I guess he's legitimately sick, so we'll give him a pass this time.
Yeah.
But 2 weeks from now, once the season starts, no excuses.
That's what I said. Man. You got to get in game shape, brother. You know, it's about time to do it to it. So, I guess first I want to talk, and you congratulations because you broke this story, you and Chris and Pete. Ethan Johnson joining the roster at South Carolina, corner. Has some accolades. I looked through and seems to be, just from what I could pick up, it's hard to tell sometimes, but he seems to be a pretty good tackler, pretty physical corner. Some of the advanced metrics on him, after Matt Anderson researched him last night, are going to raise some eyebrows at times. But all in all, I mean, this late in the game, and he's also from Huff High School, which is a school you want to make a pipeline for DBs at your school, obviously. Seems like a pretty solid pickup for depth purposes. Because like we talked about all offseason, behind Collier and Swain, it's young at that position.
Yeah, and I think that's the headline there. And like you mentioned, too, that Huff program, Chachi Sullivan, their awesome defensive coordinator and DB's coach, he's put out guys in the Carolinas going all the way back to Izzy McQuamu, ended up working with JC some, I think, once those guys got together, and just is he's a guy you want on your side. Obviously, Carolina has a couple of DBs that are very highly recruited coming in from there this cycle too. And, I think this is just taking advantage of the rules right now. And if you look at probably internally what's happened over the first few weeks of camp, and, it sounds like they probably were saying, all right, are there some areas on this team that if we had an opportunity to improve, that we would try to do so? And then lo and behold, this guy pops up. He's got the TRO from Louisiana where he's going to get an extra year, assuming that holds up. South Carolina's confident that it will. And, I think this is someone who will come right in and compete sort of for that cornerback 3 spot. Cassie Barnes is fighting for time there. DeMarcus Leach fighting for time there. And, that was one of several spots Beamer mentioned on Tuesday last week where they were saying, hey, we need somebody to grab this spot. It just has not happened yet. And, that doesn't mean they're not very high on Cassie Barnes for the future. Doesn't mean they're not very high on DeMarcus Leach. But when you had an opportunity to get older, get some experience, this dude played pretty much all 4 years at App State. I don't think he's if we set the expectation correctly, it's not like a game changer that's going to come in and push Vakari for playing time or anything, in my opinion. But, dude, they play that cornerback 3, as you guys know, quite a bit. And it's really not a direct depth chart a lot of times, at least in the past. That third guy is rotating in for both starting corners. And then you have that fourth guy who's rotating in but with lesser snaps. So over the course of a year, especially if you have an injury or two, cornerback 3 is playing quite a bit. So I think this was just an opportunity to get older there, increase the competition, and almost like a layer of insurance at that position.
Yeah, and some people have been asking about DQ Smith. What I was told was there's wasn't a lot of, appetite, for lack of a better term. Nothing against him. And if they had room, obviously DQ's not a corner, and that was a spot. I think they feel pretty good about their top 4 safeties right now. So talk about that a little bit. And then also Ethan was not in an NFL training camp, was he?
From what I could gather, no. If he had a tryout or something like that, and I'm sure some teams looked at him, but all the reporting I could find on him, which, really there just wasn't a lot out there. He was not mentioned as being already on an NFL team or anything. This was a guy who, was a little bit under the radar in terms of NFL teams, kind of fits the mold of good college player who was not in the Power 4 and maybe just didn't quite have some of the measurables that the NFL guys are looking for. particularly like his speed, I think. But I don't think quite fits the category of he had to walk into an NFL coach's office and say, all right, coach, I'm going back to school, like we're seeing with some other scenarios. So, just the opportunity there for him to play one more year, near his hometown as well. And, for DQ, I kind of heard the same thing. Like, I don't really think there was anything there, maybe on either side. I don't think there was much discussion. I know South Carolina didn't really make any moves to try to bring him back. And that's okay. I don't think that's any shot at him. But also, I think you have a guy that we're all very familiar with in Jazavian Currents, who is just waiting in the wings at safety. And, if you start adding at safety, you almost are kind of blocking a little bit of his progression there, because I think that's when you recruit the high school guys that are as good as him in today's world, like, you want to do everything you can, in my opinion, to go ahead and bring them along and get them ready. And, I think that's what's going to happen with Currents. Even if Boosie is the starter, day one, I think Currents, we all know, is going to be a fantastic player here.
Mike, kick it to you, brother.
Oh, geez, where do we go? So last time, Wes, we spent a lot of time on wide receiver. And I think I asked you the running back question, right? How you thought they might split it up.
Yeah.
Remember that? And are we staying firm with Matt Fuller is clearly the number one as opposed to 1A, 1B, 1C?
Yeah, I think. I mean, I do. I think that thing ended up being a little tighter than maybe I anticipated it was going to be. But also, from what I've heard, the last maybe week or so, or even maybe 3 or 4 days, I think Matt, has had a good past week. I think had a good showing on Saturday. Obviously, he was dealing with a little bit of like a hand thing, I guess, where he was in the blue jersey, the prior week, and but was still able to do a lot of things in practice. So I think that's one of the, I almost look at it like this. I think Matt's going to get the first right of refusal at this point. Like, he's going to go out, he's going to have his chance. Now, if for whatever reason it's not what they're looking for once the lights turn on, I think they feel pretty good about some of those other guys pushing and playing as well. You even got a little Jabri Coleman love from Beamer last week. It was a guy I don't think they'll necessarily be counting on him this year as a young guy behind some older kids. But, yeah, I think they feel pretty good about that overall room right now. I do think that's a spot, though, where you ultimately, once the games start, you want to have that RB1 kind of show himself. So I lean towards, it's going to be Matt, but I don't know if it's necessarily like written in ink at this point either.
Let's put him just as a follow-up under the microscope for a second, because I think what's fresh in everybody's mind is the run against LSU. Like, that was explosive. You saw a little bit of everything on that run. But clearly, and even the best of the best, right, have a weakness. We see that with the NFL draft, that they can take a first-round guy and you could find 7 things that they don't like about him. What is it that he is lacking, or what is it that they want him to improve on to just really be, of course, this is our guy. Of course, this is our bell cow, and he's going to be unbelievable this year. He's going to be what Rocket Sanders was 2 years ago for Carolina.
Yeah, I think for one, and this is a little bit of a cop-out answer, but like Drayton is a perfectionist, man. Like, this dude grades these guys very, very strictly. So if you miss a block in pass protection, we're not just gonna like write that off and be like, oh, you'll get him next time. Like, he wants close to perfection from these guys. So I think when you have guys behind him that can play as well, you're able to grade him a little bit more strictly. Now, I think going back to last year and then bringing it forward to this year, we always talk about quarterbacks in terms of this new scheme and it just being easier to play fast and just not having quite as much on the guys maybe as what they were doing with the NFL stuff with Shula. I think Matt Fuller, from everything we've heard, has really benefited from Kendall Briles' approach. And, it's just a little bit easier for everybody to just go play. And that's kind of been Kendall's thing. from a broad standpoint from the beginning is, it's not that there's not some complexity to the scheme, because there is to an extent. It's a college offense, but it's just not quite the mental load on these guys that the one was last year. And I think when you look at Matt, you see massive legs, just a physically impressive kid, fast enough to, as we saw against LSU, break it off. He can be a complete back. I just think my guess is it's probably more so the things all of us don't even really pay all that much attention to on a day-to-day basis. Your pass pro, your knowing the real intricacies of where you're supposed to be in a certain situation. So some guys, it just clicks immediately. I think it's been a little bit more of a slow burn there, but they're going to give him his chance, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I was kind of with Wes for a little bit on Fuller. It seemed like it was getting a little tighter than it was. Than we expected, because coming out of spring, it was all people could talk about. But starting like midweek, the Matt Fuller hype train was back, baby. So from all sources reporting, and then I think in my Sunday article, it looked like a lot of people are saying it looks like he's going to be the guy. I think with him, the weakness to me was sometimes he's the one that needs to hit the hole really hard, right? He needs to hit the hole, go up in there, boom, 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 dancing in backs behind big offensive or bad offensive line sometimes do this. They'll dance, they'll he's not that guy. Now he's a guy, if he gets past your linebackers, you're probably not catching him. But he's not a guy that's going to dance and wiggle his way through the hole. And I if I had like an evaluation point on him first year, it'd be like, I would question his vision slightly. Really good backs have great vision. I just, didn't see it. Now, I've heard Christian Clark, on the other hand, may not be the fastest guy, most athletic guy, but he's got great vision. And then the other two, I didn't realize Isaiah Augustov was this fast. I didn't think he was fast at all when I watched him at Colorado, but all I've heard is how fast he is. And then I'm, vice president of the Jawarn Howell Fanboy Club. So, we'll see what happens there. Wes, the defense had a great day. That's not a surprise. They've been responding. But I also heard it's not anything to worry about with the offense. And I also heard one thing this offense is doing is getting vertical in the passing game. So my question is, are you more concerned? Because I think a lot of fans maybe. To me, it's just like I wasn't overly like optimistic or negative about the first one. I'm not same thing. But should it be a concern that the defense did so well? That's part one. And then part two, I explain to everybody that just because they're getting the ball out of Lenoris's hands quicker, that it's not just a chuck and duck offense where they're throwing a bunch of bubble screens. Kind of shed some light on those two things for our listeners.
Yeah, and I know you sometimes make this point, JC, like the stuff we're trying to gather right now, preseason, and especially in the summer when we're hearing winter workout stuff, it's more about individuals. It's like which guys leading this battle, which guy has stepped up, who's taking on a leadership role, who's playing well in practice. To me, that's a completely different conversation than whether you can go beat Alabama. So it is very hard to tell, in my opinion, especially when we're not even watching the dang thing from scrimmages. This unit's this, that unit's this. I'm not. I don't know about you, JC. I kind of had a feeling the defense was going to punch back in scrimmage too. That's kind of their mindset, man. Like they have talent. They play extremely hard for Clayton White. I think they take it a little bit personally. They probably took it a little personally, honestly, all the talk about the offense last week. So I kind of had a feeling they were going to punch back. Don't think you're overly concerned about that. I do think if you're going to be a little nitpicky, one thing I'm keeping an eye on, we heard, hey, the O-line last week, there were some really good signs in that scrimmage. Then we hear this week, man, defensive tackles kind of took it personally. We're out there. Whenever you start judging those two units on what they do against each other, you don't want to get too far ahead of yourself because now you got to go do it, obviously against different people. So I try not to put too much stock into that preseason stuff, but it sounds to me like, especially the depth on the defensive line just kind of shined on this past Saturday, that those guys really had kind of set the tone, I guess you would say, much like the offense sort of set the tone those first handful of drives in last week's scrimmage. But yeah, this Kendall Briles offense, man, I'm excited to see what we're actually going to see in the games, but it's really never – I think a lot of times people kind of say it's the air raid and they, like, mix it up with that. That's really –
it's not.
It's really not even – it's not at all, and it's really not even what it was based on. And they're going to throw the ball vertically. You go look at what Kendall has done at multiple other places. Like, yes, there's horizontal elements, but it's really more based on you go back to the Baylor days, man, they were spreading it out and then just bombs away on you down the field.
Yeah,
like it is
nuts.
It is like truly, I think this offense is attack every blade of grass, like to the extreme. Yeah, we're gonna horizontal. If you're a defense and you let him horizontal you to death and just you're backed off, and I think he'll take the easy 5 or 6 yards if you give it to him. But a lot of that horizontal is really based on, all right, well, now you start creeping up, I'm going to start attacking you vertically. And I had somebody tell me, they're like, man, everybody's comparing this offense to what Kendall Briles did with KJ Jefferson at Arkansas. And they were like, I mean, maybe to an extent, but they're like, Lenoris at his best as a passer is an infinitely better thrower of the football than KJ Jefferson. And they were kind of just reiterating, like, hey, Kendall Briles' offense with Lenoris at the helm, there's a lot at Kendall Briles' disposal that he can do to kind of mix things up and keep defenses off balance. And, I think there's going to be a horizontal element. There's going to be take what's there. But also, I think, especially with Nick Harbor and his speed on the outside, you're going to see them attack vertically for sure.
When your two outside receivers could be Nick Harbor and DJ Black, those guys are pretty fast.
Yes.
And in both scrimmages, DJ Black has gotten loose downfield.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And you're right. And Kendall said the other day, he's like, somebody asked him about play calling, and he was like, well, it's going to be based on what the defense dictate, or the defense is going to dictate it. And some may think that it's like, why are you letting the defense dictate what you're doing? That's not what he's saying. It's like, okay, so they're going to do this. We're going to go attack here. It's Steve Spurrier did the same thing. It's in the art of war, folks. If your opponent does this, do this. You do this. That's chess mess. All right, Wes, I know you got to get rolling. And man, it's so good to. I think it's the first time I've interviewed you. I mean, I did okay. I'm a terrible interviewer, but
it was great. No, we've done one other one.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, that's right. I jumped in that one. I remember I jumped in one day. Okay,
yeah, because JB had his Beamer.
That was last week, actually. So everybody seen me on Monday. I forgot about that. Yeah, that's right.
But no, this was good, boys. I don't know about y'all, but I can just taste it in the air. Like it's almost football. Man, JC. I know I'm sure y'all talked about it, but the buzz for those 5 freshmen that we've been talking about all offseason, it's just not going away, man. So I'm excited to see those guys.
I heard Currents had a tremendous scrimmage, like made a couple of plays that were like, holy poop, So,
yes.
And and all those guys. Yeah. And I think that's a bonus because I think we thought this was a good class, Wes. But I don't know that we thought there's going to be 5 or 6 impact guys. And it's not that you have to play them because you've got veterans that are of SEC experience and experience other places you can go with. It's that they're better. And that's what happens at big time programs. Ohio State, Jeremiah Smith came in there. I'm not saying these guys are going to be that, but and then OKC comes in and there's probably good players in front of him. He just beats them out. Sequel Patterson could be one of those guys too.
Yeah. Noah Clark.
He also had a tremendous scrimmage. Yeah. I mean, dude, these guys, so that's another bonus. All right,
Yeah.
man. Well, hey, we'll
All right, boys.
check you later, and appreciate you coming on, Wes.
Yeah, appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good one, okay?
See you, Wes.
Yeah, Mike. That was South Carolina's going to have some speed on the outside beyond Harbor this year, so I think that's important. And you were agreeing with the Browse thing. I think a lot of people think it's just like a Lincoln Riley offense or Chad Morris or something like that, where it's air rated. It's really not.
No, I did a number when I was with Fox. We had the Big 12 package. This is when the Big 12 still had Texas and Oklahoma. And Art was the coach of Baylor. Well, I'll never forget. It was me and Laura Rutledge and I think Brian Baldinger was my analyst. And I said, Bart, what's if you could describe your offense in one phrase, what would it be? And he just looked at me, serious as can be. He said, "Come and get you some." And that was kind of their attitude. And Kendall was the passing game coordinator. Even before he was the OC, he was still in charge of the passing game. And I can tell you firsthand, it was not dink and dunk at all. They had some talented wide receivers, a couple of which went to the NFL. One was Terrence Edwards, but I forgot his name. Played for the Cowboys for a while. And another little kid, Sweet Pea Burns. They had them in all shapes and sizes, and they attacked you vertically. And then they also, and I can't stress this enough, and I pointed this out a number of times, if you look back in the history of Kendall Browse's offense, they run the ball extremely well. And they did back then too. It is not let's just throw it on every down and we'll be damned if we can run it all. We don't need to run that. That's not it. They need to be able to run the ball. There's no question about that. And to go back to the lack of dink and dunk, I mean, if you are Josh Hoover and you throw for over 3,900 yards 2 years ago, that wasn't all dink and dunk because TCU doesn't have those kind of wide receivers anyway. They don't have a bunch of guys like catch a little hitch and turn it 50 yards. And they threw the ball downfield. And that's what I would expect this offense to do as well. You know, I think this is not air raid 2.0 because that was a little more dink and dunkish. And you only had so many routes. And Mike Leach used to say, "I got 5 plays." That's not what this is.
Yeah, it's a different type of offense, and I think the running game element of it, Mike's why it works in the SEC. That's why I've always liked. There's really 2 systems in the SEC that are modern that I kind of dig, that I think are almost perfect, and one of them's this one. And long before Kendall Browse was an option at South Carolina, I thought this, and it's worked at Tennessee and it's worked at Ole Miss, and Mississippi State's had bad personnel issues, but last year they were able to move the ball on just about everybody. I mean, they up and down the field against Texas and all that, and it's all part of the same tree. And the reason is you can run the football. You know, the reason I like Mullen's offense is you run the football.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and in this league, you still have to run the football to be successful. You can't just throw it all over the yard. Teams are too good.
No doubt. And sometimes the passing game sets up your run. You know, if
it does,
and then all of a sudden you get a light box, and then you just take old Matt Fuller and let him plow ahead and take on linebackers and see how that works out.
Yeah.
You would hope it works out well. I know it works out well in the way of mortgage rates. It is the one and only Troy Branham. He's a phone call away, as he always is, helping a number of our listeners over the last couple of years. It's amazing how many people have had such great things to say about their experience with Troy, and we appreciate you frequenting him, as well as the other terrific sponsors. 803-238-0111, 803-238-0111. Golden Gate Mortgage has been around for 30 years, so has Troy in that role. So when he's not going to Gamecock games, he's saving your family a lot of money on a refi or a new mortgage, any type of loan, business, construction, you name it. Troy Branham, 803-238-0111 for anybody in South Carolina.
All right, J.C. Sherbert, Mike Morgan here on Inside the Gamecocks, the morning show. We'll be back after this short break. Stay tuned.
If you own a home, don't wait on these home safety tips. Flush your water heater, clean your dryer vent, and inspect your roof annually. Don't forget to check washer hoses and caulk in wet areas. Visit RestoProsMidlandsSC.com.
A really common fear in a workman's compensation case is what's going to happen to my job if I report this injury? And my answer to that is you still need to report your injury. I'm dealing directly with the insurance company, and the insurance company is going to treat you like a file number. So let me make sure that doesn't happen to you. Let me get involved in your workman's compensation case.
Ryan Brewer Fence offers a variety of services ranging from fences and railings to columns. Our craftsmanship, experience, and service is second to none. Visit ryanbrewer.net today.
Why are you throwing all that money over the falls?
If you're buying a Honda or Toyota, that's exactly what you're doing. Look at the Kia Sorento. Get a third-row SUV for $8,000 less than the Highlander. Toyota only has a 5-year warranty. JT's Kia has a 1,000,000-mile warranty.
Don't forget JT's Advantage Package. Oil changes, roadside assistance, and so much more.
Choosing a Sorento over a Highlander is a no-brainer. More features, better warranty, and you save over $8,000.
We're serious about saving you money.
Killian Road, I-77, or Greystone Boulevard.
JT's Kia.
Is this your golf game? It doesn't have to be. Visit McKellarEnterprises.org and improve your game today.
Do you carry? Carry responsibly with us. What could you lose from a self-defense act? Visit ProtectWithBear.com to find out more. ProtectWithBear.com.
Bring on your forces of nature. Bring on the storm that's raging. If you get lost in the shadows, there's a fire inside you. Be the light that guides you. Come on, carry your flame. Carry it higher. Even in the darkness, carry your torches. Come on, carry your flame. Set the night on fire. Even in the
Inside the Gamecocks, the morning show, JC Sherbert filling in for Sports Media JB, as his Twitter handle says. JB Bradford is under the weather. I just keep thinking about Anchorman. And I'm Veronica Corningstone. Boobs
right.
McGee is off tonight.
It's funny. Every time I hear it, now that you've said Veronica Corningstone, all I can think of is I'm Chevy Chase and you're not.
Great documentary.
Hey, my wife is
with the same title.
My wife's at a book club right at work. And so the Christina Applegate biography, autobiography, was the book of the month.
Oh,
it's very interesting.
And it is actually, yeah.
Kelly Bundy went through a lot. But then, like, she also reads it, like, on the audiobook, because people do audiobooks now. And my wife said, well, there are people in the book club mad because she kind of got, like, self-indulged, like, with her inflections and stuff. Like, it's, like, a little dramatic. I'm like, good God.
Get mad at them.
Oh, man. I would not want to be the subject of a book club like that.
No. Well, I think that Christina Applegate's a little bit selfish with some of her tone, right, Phil?
That's right.
That's not good.
That's right. I don't think
probably
he appreciates it enough.
So Mike Morgan is in, and Mike, so some starting quarterbacks are being announced. First of all, KJ Jackson at Memphis is no surprise. I don't know why they decided to. I don't even know who their backup is. I didn't even know there's a competition.
Well, you kind of Freudian slipped it there. You said Memphis. I know what you meant.
I mean, Arkansas.
You meant, yeah.
Well, I said Memphis, man.
Well, because you're probably thinking the guy he was competing against, who was A.J. Hill, he came from Memphis. And so some people thought maybe because he followed Silverfield there from Memphis, that maybe he had a shot. I was not one of those people. So far, we talked about this on JT's Kia Drive, and we'll have another one tomorrow. There are 5 battles and 3 that have been determined. I'm 3 for 3 so far. The other 2, I still think it'll be Philo at Florida, and I still think Vanderbilt just feels obligated, if nothing else, to go with the 5-star kid because they don't get a lot of 5-star quarterbacks at Vanderbilt. But we'll see. We'll see how that shakes out. But the biggest one, of course, is Keelan Russell. Well, I know you've been high on for a while, and I don't think they could have just turned down that talent, not to mention what they're paying him. He had to step up and be ready, and apparently they think he's ready, and that's who Carolina's going to be looking at in all likelihood when those 2 teams meet in week 4.
Yeah, Keelan Russell, we'll talk about Tennessee's decision on the other side of the break because that's a different ball game. Or it's a different ball game on Carolina's schedule, but I think it's a different situation. Keelan Russell's a redshirt freshman, or a second-year guy now. I guess he just lost last year, but I loved him out of high school. I thought he was a big-time pickup. I thought because of the way they like to throw the ball, and then the way they they didn't have the best plan for Jalen Milroe. Of course, I don't know that Nick Saban did either, or Tommy Reese rather, but they and I thought maybe Matt could win it. But from what I've read out of Tuscaloosa, Mike, Russell's passing is what. I mean, he's been hitting. I mean, he was a really good passer. He's a Texas high school kid. And, out there, all they do is 7-on-7, like from 5th, 6th grade on. I mean, so they Texas quarterbacks can usually throw the football. I think he could be a problem. And I think he could actually elevate Alabama a little bit this year. That game 4 you talked about could be Lenora Sellers versus Keelan Russell in all likelihood, because I think he's got a lot of it to him, from what I saw out of high school and then him winning this job.
It's the guy the fans desperately wanted to see win the job. And that's not a knock on anybody else, but they want to see this kid take over the reins. There's probably going to be some growing pains. And what the hope is, you don't fall into the Jalen Milroe, because you don't play quarterback, whether it's Saban or Kalen DeBoer. If you have problems throwing the football, they're not just going to revamp the entire offense because you can't throw the ball and you can't read defenses. You can't be accurate. That's expected of a quarterback at Alabama. Last year, they couldn't run, they couldn't block, and yet their quarterback still made friggin' plays left and right. And he's a first-round draft pick and lit it up in the NFL. That's what really good quarterbacks do. You might have some things against you, but you shine. And Milroe did not, particularly his last year. He regressed. And so they need this kid to go in there and absolutely shine. I mean, you assume Alabama will not suck running the football 2 years in a row. It just doesn't happen over there. You assume that. I don't know. I mean, maybe they don't. Maybe they have the same issues again. But if they do, that's a problem. Because I don't think Nick Saban ever had that 2 years in a row. He just wouldn't stand for it.
I don't think Bill Curry had that problem 2 years in a row. I mean, because I remember when they hired Mike Price, I was listening to, I think Buck and Ballou I was living in Georgia at the time when they hired Mike. And it may have been another station. It may have been like Chuck Oliver. And they're like, yeah, I could see it now. Like Mike Price, 5 wide, kind of a run and shoot offense. And it's like, I just see it right now. Run the ball. Run the ball. I don't know, man. They missed out on Hollywood Smothers. He went to Texas. Their back is a guy named Daniel Hill. Gamecock fans will remember him from recruiting from Meridian, Mississippi. Good player. But their offensive line, they got guys out of the portal, kind of like everybody else. Some unknowns, a lot of West Coast guys. They lost Caden Proctor. So I don't know. I don't know that DeBoer and Ryan Grove, I don't think they give a damn about running the football. I think they're passing guys, man. They love to dial them up, right?
Yeah.
But I think this, to your point, one final point about Bama's run game.
if Russell can throw it accurately and then get the passing game going, and then he can get added bonus yards with his legs, they may not need to turn around and hand it off to Daniel Hill 20 times for 100 yards a game.
Right.
To get the rushing yards you need to be a good offense.
I get the feeling he's going to be heavily involved in the run game.
Heavily.
If the hype is real, he's not just going to give way to a backfield all the time. He's going to make plays with his legs, and that's what Alabama desperately wants this year, especially if the offensive line lets them down 2 years in a row. And it'll help to have a guy that can run. Man, that was a quick hour. How about we do another one?
I'm down.
Let's do it. Hour number 2, presented by Gary Patterson State Farm Insurance. For all your insurance needs, call Gary Patterson today. Go to GaryPatterson.net. Hour number 2 of ITG rolls on after this.
If you own a home, don't wait on these home safety tips. Flush your water heater, clean your dryer vent, and inspect your roof annually. Don't forget to check washer hoses and caulk in wet areas. Visit RestoProsMidlandsSC.com.
The road to success, well, it isn't always a straight one. I tell my kids every day before dropping them off at school, don't take this for granted. Tuition assistance from the South Carolina Education Lottery helped me go back to school when I needed to make a change. And I'm so grateful because now I am where I'm supposed to be.
Better opportunities means a better South Carolina, and a better South Carolina means a better you.
Do you carry? Carry responsibly with us. What could you lose from a Self-Defense Act? Visit protectwithbear.com to find out more. Protectwithbear.com.
Troy Branham of Golden Gate Mortgage can help you save big today anywhere in South Carolina. Over 27 years experience. Visit ggmortgage.com. Troy Branham of Golden Gate Mortgage says go Gamecocks.
Dry Space Crawl Space Solutions are your local home protection experts. Crawl space encapsulation, sump pump and drain installs, humidity control, duct cleaning, basement waterproofing, concrete leveling, and French drains. We do it all. Visit dryspacecs.com. dryspacecs.com. Go Gamecocks.
If you have experienced water damage, storm damage, fire or smoke damage, or need mold remediation, you need Resto Pros of the Midlands. Visit RestoProsMidlandsSC.com and go Gamecocks.
Subscribe to FourQuarterFriday.com. High school sports coverage in South Carolina. Part of Rivals on 3. And the Chief Sports Network. You're tuned into Inside the Gamecocks, the morning show. Part of the Chief Sports Network. Proudly presented by the West Law Firm. And brought to you in partnership with Resto Pros of the Midlands. Go Gamecocks!
Welcome back to Inside the Gamecocks, the morning show. JC Sherbert here, Mike Morgan, Mad Dog Phil Mullinax. So we have a little breaking news, I guess. It's breaking news, but it's noticeable. So, because for those of you that are in the stadium a week from Saturday, in 2001, the pregame happens. You're going to notice this. The visitors' locker room at Williams-Brice has been moved.
Oh.
So normally it comes out, the teams come out of that northwest corner of the end zone, right? It's been that way for years. Now the visitors' locker room
is in the southeast corner of the end zone. I mean, of the stadium. So, in other words, if you're sitting in West Upper and 2001 happens, you watch the Gamecocks come out of the tunnel and all that, like you normally do. It's gonna be kind of shocking for some of you when Kent State comes hauling ass out of that corner. If you're not aware of this, because I know it would mess with me. Because I'd be kind of, you kind of look, see visitors where they at. Where they at, Phil? Phil, Phil, where are they? So I mean, but now they're just going to come. I mean, I would be like, whoa, what's going on? So just a PSA there.
So they're coming out of the opposite south end zone. If it
so if you were where they come out now, if you look directly
Mm-hmm.
diagonally across the field, that's it's where it's actually right beside where their fans sit, where the visiting fans sit.
Yeah, it is the visitor section. They get to come out to their own people now. Oh, okay. Well, good for them. All four of them, all four Kent State fans will be right there cheering them on.
Yeah. So anyway, just want to let you folks know that. I tell you, there'll be a lot of orange in that corner on October 24th, the weekend before Halloween this year, as Tennessee comes to town. And Mike, so a true freshman, Faison Brandon. This is not a surprise to me. I actually thought Austin Mack at Alabama had a better shot at winning it than McIntyre at Tennessee. But, I mean, this kid's really good. He's from Greensboro, North Carolina, Grimsley High School, the same high school as Causey Barnes, who Wes mentioned earlier, that plays corner at Carolina. He was the number 2 player in the country. Throws a nice ball. He's fast, great fit. And apparently, he's taken to like a fish to water with Josh Heupel's offense. Those who don't remember, Hendon Hooker was also from that part of North Carolina, so there's geographic relevance as well. But your thoughts on at Tennessee with that system and all that, your thoughts on starting a true freshman at quarterback this year?
Just talking to some people that I know up there that cover the team, this is where this was headed for a while. From what I was told, again, 5-star kid, all kinds of ability, but could he grasp the offense? Is typically the type of question you hear when it's that type of battle, right? The answer is obviously yes, and I would add to kind of falling in line with our discussion about the running game in hour number 1. What any quarterback at Tennessee has had is the luxury of a great running game. 3 consecutive 1,000-yard rushers, 3 different guys, only program in college football to have that distinction. And they've got their top rusher back this year, 1,000-yard back again. So it's not going to all be on him. That's another misnomer, is that Josh Heupel is this pass-happy offense that just throws it 50 times a game. That's not what he was as a quarterback at Oklahoma under Bob Stoops, and that's not the way he coaches his offense at Tennessee. They are continually one of the best rushing teams in the SEC, if not the country, and that'll take a little bit of pressure off of him. But not surprised, just because of some of the things, some of the intel out there. This was kind of like Alabama in that they wanted him to win the job because he has the higher ceiling. And remember, last year they kind of got caught flat-footed with the whole Nico situation, and Aguilar outplayed everybody's expectations, including mine. I didn't think we'd be talking about Joey Aguilar as one of the higher-rated passers in the SEC, but he was. And so if they can win some games with Joey Aguilar, you'd like to think they could win some with a guy that is certainly more explosive and, dare I say, dynamic, with Faison.
Absolutely. And and Faison can move around a little bit in the pocket. So there's the quarterback run element. George McIntyre, who he beat out for the job, was also a highly rated guy, in-state guy in Nashville. I think Mike McIntyre is his dad or uncle or grandpa, something like that. Remember Mike McIntyre? He's a coach at Colorado for a while.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's the same guy. Yeah, you remember, I think he used to coach for the Titans too. And I think they have ties to Nashville.
Yeah. McIntyre got fired from Colorado for really no good reason. He actually was doing some good things there.
He won the division. They won the division. They hired Carl Durrell.
Yeah, that's right. They fired McIntyre for Carl Durrell. And of course, now they're with the guy who's revolutionizing coaching, and Deion Sanders. He might revolutionize them to a 4-win season this year, depending on how things. If he can pull a rabbit out of the hat, there we shall see. But no, it's I tell you what, this quarterback situation in the SEC overall, it's pretty damn strong, because even the 5 battles, it wasn't like you were just really struggling to find anybody worth the damn. And so you had a battle of 2 mediocre guys. Very often there was kind of a pattern of a guy that had a little more experience under his belt versus the guy that was more talented but youthful. And we'll see how all that plays out, but it's going to be a hell of a year in the SEC at quarterback you play when you start looking at the guys that are back that we know are already very good.
Yeah, you're 4 for 4 now, Mike. Pete Nakos just reported 6 minutes ago that Philo won the job in Florida.
4 for 4. If I parlayed this in Vegas, man, oh man, the amount of money that would be coming my way. Yeah, Philo, again, when you hire an offensive coordinator in Buster Faulkner from Georgia Tech with Philo from Georgia Tech, that, I think, was the deciding vote. They actually think over there, and I forgot his name, the freshman, not the kid who is battling Philo for the starting job this year, but the third-string guy is the best raw ability guy of them all. JC, you can look that up or whatever on your recruiting rankings, but he's the guy that has just the best arm talent, pure arm talent. So we'll see. So we're down to Vanderbilt. We're down to Vandy. Come on, Vandy. Do the right thing. Go with the true freshman. Come on. You know you want to.
Man, that system is so based on that. People, I don't know. Hopefully, I don't know, man. I think for them to compete, as long as he can run what the kill zone offense, I think they'll be fine.
They got Muschamp's kid battling too. He's like third string.
Yeah, he's a good player, but I don't know. So the quarterback, Mike, is Will Griffin.
That's the one,
from
Griffin.
Tampa Jesuit.
Yeah, he's supposed to be the guy that's like, if this were a combine, which, as I often say, quarterbacks are not based on who looks best in a combine, but he's the guy, if you had one, that would outshine them all. That's their future guy.
I'll tell you something to watch for. I'm not going to make this prediction. So Will Griffin was ranked 16th in the country at quarterback in this cycle. I'm going to make a little prediction that he will be considered a better player in 3 years than Jared Curtis, who went to Vanderbilt.
Hot take.
I was never a big Jared Curtis guy. South Carolina was recruiting him, and obviously you'd gladly take him. But it's not that he's not talented. Some of the things behind this, and the level of play he faced in high school in Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just
Small
say
school guy.
It's not Tampa Jesuit. No,
Yeah.
it's just so in Nashville, like in the Murfreesboro area and places like that, you have really good high school teams, like athletes. Some areas you don't, and then the private schools are really good. You got Brentwood Academy and all that, but it's hit or miss. Nashville Christian, to me, I saw his tape. Yeah, he was Patrick Mahomes but like guys out there that, look like my next door neighbor who's 8 riding her scooter up and down. These guys were not,
not unlike Arch Manning, right? Arch Manning played in a lower classification. You look at the tape again and on him and it's like, is that the varsity? Like
he played at Isidore Newman. Didn't his uncles play at Isidore Newman too, though? Didn't they
I don't know.
Play there? They all.
I don't know. Well, the other thing is
that up. Alma mater of high school of Eli.
Like this is true of my high school too. Like it's not just what your high school is and what class, but who your AD and your coach decides to play.
Yeah.
When I was in high school, we played teams that we knew were going to kick the living crap out of us, but we played them. Now, my high school doesn't play. They don't mess around with Pahokee and Glade Central. They want no part of that. They wised up and said, you know what? rather than riding on a bus for an hour and a half to get our ass kicked by a bunch of kids that are going to play D1, let's just play this small little private school down the road. So you can kind of tilt the scale that way. I'll say one other thing on Jared Curtis, and I know this is an unattractive thought, but just think about this with all due respect to Blake Berlowitz, who he's battling. Jared Curtis was initially going where, JC?
Georgia.
How many more years does Gunnar Stockton have at Georgia?
One, maybe?
The
new rules.
I think this is it, right?
Hey, what was he?
I think he gets one more year with the 5 for 5.
2022. He was, he's 20.
Now, hold on.
Yeah, I don't know. Look that up, Phil.
Double check me on that. I thought it might have been his last year.
It might be. Let's see.
If it is, Kirby and those guys could be calling up Jared Curtis if he's sitting on the Pine in Nashville and going, "Hey, man, you wanna stick it out there where you'll be lucky to win 7? You want to come here to the team that plays for the SEC championship every year?"
If he's good enough.
Right? And again, he might not be. And I'm not disagreeing with you.
But
I
your
have no
scenario
idea.
is very plausible.
Yeah,
Very
it's just something to think about because that kid picked Georgia initially for a reason. And then Vanderbilt came in and probably some promises were made and so on and so forth.
Well, and the thing is, too, that sadly enough, you're going to see more freshmen get playing time because of that.
Yeah, Stockton was 22, it looks like. So he would have technically one more year under the new rule.
So he played 22, 23, 24, 25.
Well, this would be year 5.
Hold on, this is 5. Yeah,
he's out after this.
He's done. He gone.
He's gone. So that's it for Gunnar Stockton.
And both Mannings did play at
Isidore Newman.
Yes.
So they all played at the same school. So, but yeah, that's very interesting, Mike, and certainly that is, and look, and if I'll be honest too, let's say Jared Curtis plays this year, it starts, and let's say Vandy's like 5 and 7-ish or something, but he has one shining moment and goes out there and they upset somebody, right? It won't be South Carolina because they're not on the schedule this year for the first time since 1992, but and his stats are good and he looks good, but they're 5 and 7. And Georgia cycles back up a little bit and plays for a national title or maybe wins it. I'm not counting that out. And they've got momentum and Stockton rides off into the sunset and they need a quarterback. Oh, you bet your bottom dollar. You bet your bottom dollar.
Phone will be ringing.
Scenario, something will happen.
Phone will be ringing probably long before it's supposed to legally, because we all know tampering is allowed in college football.
Some go-between from Savannah, like the guy that 100%. raises the Georgia English Bulldogs from midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil. Go Dogs! Hi, my name is Clayton Swanee, and is this Mr. Curtis? Go Dogs! I just got off the phone with Coach Smart.
Cusack and Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, a weird movie, but a lot of Georgia, a lot of UGA imagery in it. Kevin Spacey played a weird character in that one, but more close to who he really is as a person.
That's true. Yeah, more. That's why
watch
he did so well.
Watch the Kevin Spacey doc. You'll want to take a shower, alone, but still want to take a shower.
It's a hell of an actor, though. Really,
he's fantastic. I mean,
unbelievable.
When you 7 and American Beauty like back to back, practically. Our Usual Suspects back to back to back. Right. Yeah, he had a good run.
Fantastic. And A Time to Kill, dude. Think about the difference in the role.
A Time to Kill.
Yeah, I mean, I watch. There's clips of that movie on.
It's such a silly movie, but it's just,
you turn him loose. You turn him loose. Chris
turn him loose.
You know,
Chris Mickey Mouse.
Chris Cooper was also in underrated actor, by the way. Chris Cooper,
very underrated.
Also in American Beauty.
American Beauty. Played the worst dad you could possibly imagine in so many ways.
Jesus,
it's like, he was not good, but he's good in everything. Cooper is.
He's in
Another-
the Patriot too. Remember Patriot?
I did not see that, believe it or not.
Shot in South Carolina, Mike. During a time you were the play-by-play voice of the Gamecocks.
How about
in
that?
Winsboro? You could have.
They shot it
been
in
an
Winsboro?
extra.
Wow.
Yeah, up that way. I don't know if it was definitely in
Okay.
Winsboro. Up that way, I-77.
How about
So,
that?
Yeah. All
The
right.
program's been getting some run, but that's a whole other
Awesome.
story.
I miss James Caan. I saw some deleted scenes from Godfather 1 last night that were good. So,
Well, his son is still doing the thing. He's still rocking and rolling. He was in Entourage. He's still doing a bunch of movies. He's all like 5'3", but he's got some swag. Hey, it's Monday, special wing day. 75-cent wings, 4 to close over at D's. We always remind you it's not just the wings. There's so many good things on the menu, and there's a great staff, and there's a bunch of TVs everywhere. Do we have a preseason Monday night game? I'm guessing we do. I don't know who it is, though. This is pretty much the last weekend, the last few days we have without college football front and center, because week 0 is right around the corner. And yes, if you want a place to spend your game days, your Thursday night football days, your Friday night football, and lunch, just a great lunch spot. D's Wings, West Columbia, a staple in the Midlands since 1988. That's the restaurant that should have been on the program. Yesterday's was in there, and Yesterday's, unfortunately, is no longer around. Yesterday's was good, too. I liked Yesterday's, but that's a whole other story. They're not there. D's is. Check them out, lunch and dinner.
all right. This is Inside the Gamecocks, the morning show. Mike Morgan, the Mad Dog. SEC quarterback news on the schedule. Aaron Philo is going to be the starting quarterback for Florida. And Tennessee starting a true freshman. And you know the rest. Arkansas, I don't know why I think they were just trying to get relevant. I tell you what, KJ Jackson could be a dangerous player if he improves 40% over last year. I mean, there's some tools there. I mean, don't
I agree.
get it twisted. But he's going to have to be a lot significantly better. I don't know about the supporting cast and all of that. But the Mad Dog will take us out. And we will be back after these messages.
Subscribe to thebigspur.com. Proud partners of On3.
Gamecock Traditions is your Nike superstore and your home for anything and everything with a South Carolina logo. Visit us in the Midlands and order online at GamecockTraditions.com. Go Gamecocks!
Looking for thrills? Then welcome to the South Carolina Education Lottery, where every chance at a win comes with a chance of a whiff.
Wait, what? What does she have to be so happy about?
Well, quite a bit, Jeff. That face right there, that's a face that says fun. But when the game stops being fun and that face goes away, it might be time to take a break.
Okay, that makes sense. Thanks. Mystery voice?
No problem, Jeff. Playing for fun makes you a better player, and a better player is a better you.
You know, in Gamecock Country, home truly means more. And whether you're buying or selling a home, Renee Fryer brings local market expertise and personal care to every move because it means more. Mike here for Renee Fryer with Home Advantage Realty. No matter where you are in the state of South Carolina, she will make sure you have the advantage on your side. That's Home Advantage Realty, and that's Renee Fryer, always an easy phone call away. 803-271-4777. Make sure you have the home field advantage with Renee Fryer of Home Advantage Realty.
Whether it's fireside or poolside, if it's time to watch the Gamecocks, Palm Casual will make your outdoor space the best it can be. Visit palmcasual.com and come see us at one of our South Carolina locations. Go Gamecocks!
Today and every day, we celebrate our great state of South Carolina. This week, our hometown highlight takes us to the PD in Lake City, home of the great Darla Moore and our friends in Johnsonville. We love the PD.
Hey guys, this is Mason West with the West Law Firm. We want to say hey to all our friends and family out in Lake City and the Johnsonville areas. This is a great football part of the state. We can help y'all out in any way. Give us a call, 843-897-7525.
This is inside the Gamecocks, under a Carolina sky, where we all want to be.
Under a Carolina sky is where I wanna be. Oh, 'cause Sandstone's going wild with the best of the SEC. It's this town, it's this team, it's got a hold on me. Oh, I've had some of the best nights of my life under a Carolina sky. Under a Carolina sky.
Welcome back inside the Gamecocks, the morning show. It's JC Sherbert, Mike Morgan here with you. Mad Dog said, technically we don't have to. Oh. All right. I was not aware of that.
You're good. I didn't stop it because it was flowing so well, and Mike went right into the read, and I'm like, man,
I thought we were doing good. I was like clapping like a seal.
Like no, you were only off by like 5 minutes. So don't, it was, but it's 2 in the first hour, 1 in the second.
No wonder we're sold
Call
out.
it the shocker.
I'm always just here firing questions and knowledge the second hour. I don't ever pay attention to that. Oh, well, with experience.
That's right. Hey, it's all right, man.
That happens. So
we're just happy we're getting them all in. Like, typically we err on the other side. It's like the conversation just keeps going, and it's like,
well, I just don't have much to say. I mean, I'm like, I don't have anything to say today. I didn't prepare. So what we're going to talk about, Aaron Philo, back to him in Florida. So my opinion about Florida is this: they were supposed to have the greatest offensive line in the history of college football last year. If you talk to their fans, they did not. They struggled like everybody. I think a lot of offensive lines struggle, by the way. But they're rebuilding that. That's a complete mystery down there. But I think their receivers are good. I think they got the Singleton kid from Auburn that was really good at Georgia Tech. He's in. They got some young guys, and I love Jaden Ball. I don't know that Aaron Philo has to do anything but not mess it up if they can block, because what they can do, Mike, is run it and then distribute it to those speedy playmakers and put points on the board. Your kind of thoughts about how he fits in with all this. One thing people have to remember too, Buster Faulkner does get a lot of credit for what he did at Georgia Tech. He has a great reputation, but a lot of that Georgia Tech offense, man, was blood and guts coming from one Hainsworth King. He about lost his. I thought that dude was going to lose his leg was going to fall off one day, dude.
I know. And Carolina looks to be using him the same way. It's crazy.
And I'm like, is this the same guy that Jimbo benched at A&M? I mean, it's like, no wonder Jimbo played him, because you got to love this kid. But good God, I don't know they're going to be able to do that in the SEC with Philo, especially if they can't block. But your thoughts on how having a guy like this familiar with the system, and given what Florida does have, how that could really, I think, give them enough offense this year to have a turnaround season.
Yeah, I mean, the reason why Buster Faulkner became a hot commodity, not just by Florida, we had that whole kind of OC musical chair game this past year in the SEC. And I think every fan base kind of feels better about where they are now than where they were. Obviously, Carolina's does by probably the longest of margins there. But Faulkner, you're right. I mean, Haynes King he was an animal. And he won them a lot of games they had no business winning. And I don't know if Alberto Mendoza is going to have the same level of success for Coach Key and his Ramblin' Wreck. But remember this about Faulkner. When Georgia won back-to-back national titles, they did so with a former walk-on by the name of Stetson Bennett, the guy that was the quarterback coach in the OC for those teams, or put the quarterback coach in the, I guess you could say not the OC, but quality control, whatever. It was Faulkner. And Faulkner's, what he did with Georgia during those times. And remember now, Kirby doesn't let you just You don't air it out under Kirby, and that's not what Georgia does. And I don't think that's what Florida is going to do, and it's certainly not what Georgia Tech did. But it will be more elaborate than what it was at Georgia Tech with Haynes King. They will throw the ball more. They will have more extensive passing concepts, and especially with some of the guys you mentioned. Singleton, if he wasn't completely misused, like everybody was misused under Hugh Freeze at Auburn, is a name that people might forget. But 2 years ago at Tech, he was a badass. I mean, he's a playmaker now. He's a guy you get him the ball in space and then you let him work. So, yeah, and Jaden Ball is, you want to talk about guys we would put our money on for 1,000 yards, which is a rarity these days in college football, even in the SEC. I don't know how many there were last year, not many. But he'd be one of them I'd put money on. That Jaden Ball, if he stays healthy, is a pretty good bet for 1K. So if you have a 1,000-yard rusher and you've got some playmakers at receiver and the offensive line, which certainly was not good. The line play was never good under Billy Napier, which is part of why they brought him in. Certainly wasn't for his charisma. They hope that the offensive line can be nothing but better. If all that is the case, and yes, they will be better. Now, some of the projections to me are a little high. The hype train, like every time John Summerall speaks for 5 minutes, the media just gushes. And I'm just like, that's great. You know what? I've seen a lot of great rah-rah guys before. What that program really needs is a guy that's an actual difference maker. And he might be. He just might be. I really don't know. Florida is one of those teams in the middle of the SEC, which is where Carolina is, which is where Tennessee is, which is where, who knows, maybe LSU is there. Maybe Alabama's there. We don't know. But it's a big middle, and it's a really unpredictable middle, right? You could tell me Florida's going to go 6-6. You could tell me they're going to go 9-4 with a bowl game. I'd believe you either way. I wouldn't call you a liar if you said either one of those things.
A lot's going to depend on these quarterbacks too. Like,
right.
All right. So is Aaron or is Philo going to be like Graham Mertz his last year, where you go, well, he's not perfect, but he's good enough. You know, and then Vernell Brown, Eric Singleton, Dallas Wilson. Those are their starting three receivers. There's just from a pure talent standpoint, that's a hell of a trio right there. Mm-hmm. And then you mentioned Ball. So they got a running back. They got three receivers. What else do they have? We don't know. Of Faison Brandon and Keelan Russell. I know one is a year older, but those two guys, they could either be the talk of the conference six weeks in, or like, man, he's really struggling, and the fans at both places are talking about getting a portal quarterback and all that. And you know, even with normal young struggles, you know, the veterans, Marcel Reed and Lenore Sellers, you know, opinions are mixed. You know, is Marcel Reed going to be, we're going to be talking about Marcel Reed? He's just that he never really had it. You know, he's hit or miss. Or are we going to be talking about that this is the guy that's going to maybe lead Texas A&M deep into the playoff? Lenore Sellers, you know, is he going to bounce back? And that's going to be a question. So much depends on the quarterbacks, you know, and it's because there's so many new ones. And then, Mike, as we learned last year, sometimes the returning guys are surprises. Mm-hmm. Think about it, Nussmeier. I mean, there was a debate all summer, raging debate all summer about Cade Klubnik and Garrett Nussmeier squaring off in game one. That's right. They're the two best. Could be the two best quarterbacks in the country. By the end of the year, it's like, wow, Cade Klubnik got drafted in the 5th round. Must be a shitty year for quarterbacks. You know, I mean, it's like, and Nussmeier was, oh yeah, fire. I mean, but don't you think that's true though? There's a lot of mystery here. I mean, I mentioned KJ Jackson earlier in Arkansas. The spectrum of possibilities for him this year is so vast. Kamario Taylor from Mississippi State, you know, that kind of thing. Is Trinidad Chambliss, will we be talking about him being a one-hit wonder and boy, he misses Lane Kiffin? Or will we talk about Heisman? You just don't know.
Yeah. 100%. We learned that last year. Remember, Josh Pate, who was great on the pod last week, appreciate those tuning into that. He had DJ Lagway number 1 in the SEC. And I'm not picking on Josh. A lot of people had DJ Lagway very high. A lot of people. And a lot of people, myself included, had Garrett Nussmeier very high. Now, I didn't know Garrett was going to be playing with an injury all year, but, an injury doesn't excuse every bad play that he makes. At some point, the excuses roll out the window, and your performance is your performance. You only have so many alibis. He wasn't good last year. Last year I call it the bizarro world of SEC quarterback play. The most heavily hyped preseason guys, including Arch Manning, who was not good at all in the first half. Now, he rebounded well. Texas, another team, didn't block, no run game. But he adjusted and was the best damn player on the field against Oklahoma, was the best damn player on the field against A&M. 2 wins against their biggest rivals. But for the most part, it was Diego Pavia going to New York as a Heisman Trophy candidate when everybody thought it would be a fluke. This guy who looks like a bowler more than an SEC quarterback would do it again. It was Joey Aguilar, mentioned him earlier. He outplayed expectations by far. And before the Texas game, Marcel Reed was balling. So it was weird. I don't think this year's going to be that level of unpredictable, but I think you're right. There's a lot of guys that if they were stocks, what do they call it? High volatility. They could go up a lot or they could go down a lot. You really don't know. There's not a whole lot of sure things out there.
And it's been like this for 2 years. Because I'm about to throw something out. Brad Crawford ranked the SEC quarterbacks in May of 2024. Here's how they stuck up.
Of 2024?
2024. So it wasn't quite as weird, but still weird nonetheless. So 16 was Diego Pavia.
Yeah, who knew a guy from New Mexico was going to be an instant success in the SEC?
So 15 before 2024 was Lenoris Sellers.
Again, nobody knew.
Now 14, and I agree with this, was Peyton Thorne from Auburn. He should have been last.
He was awful.
And then when I found out he was from Naperville, near where I live, and I've watched those high school teams over there, I'm like, oh, that makes perfect sense now. What's Hugh Freeze thinking? I mean, you took Bo Wallace and made him into a player. Don't tempt fate, my friend.
And they could have gotten a guy in the portal. Remember, he was a 2-year starter.
Oh my God, yeah. He was like, "Nah, we're good.
We're good. I'm sitting there with my pair of 2s. That's my hand, brother."
There we go. Let's rock. Riverboat Gambler. 13, Talon Green from Arkansas. I think Talon is actually a really good player. But ahead of him was Blake Shapen from Mississippi State.
He wasn't awful.
Nah, not really.
He wasn't awful.
Oh, boy, here's 11. Drum roll.
Mm-hmm.
Ahead of Lenore Sellers, Diego Pavia, Blake Shapen, Talon Green. And everybody's rankings were like this. I mean, not just Brad's. 11, Brock Vandegrift, Kentucky.
Oh, 5-star. 5-star.
Here's another one. Drum roll. Jackson Arnold, number 10.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Now, listen, I'm going to tell you this right now.
You know where he is now.
UNLV.
That's right.
I think in that system where you don't really have to, you don't have to be a great passer to thrive with your legs. I think at UNLV.
They could be in the playoff.
And the Mountain West lost half their team. So, UNLV is going to like the big dog. You look out for Jackson Arnold this year. Number 9 was Garrett Nussmeier.
Nobody knew how good he was.
Number 8, Connor Wegman.
Always got hurt.
The first takeaway was there's a reason he's receiving first-round draft buzz. Number 7 was Graham Mertz.
Actually played pretty well.
I thought Graham did play pretty well. He was pretty good in 23, and then in 24 he got hurt.
Exactly.
Remember?
Yeah.
We'll never know. He would have probably had a pretty good year, I think.
Yeah, I would say so.
Number 6, Nico Suave from Tennessee. Number 6, hadn't taken a snap. Number 5, Brady Cook. That was a little high for Brady, but Brady Cook's highly underrated.
Brady was pretty damn good. You win some games with Brady Cook now.
He's a winner, dude. I'll never forget what was it? Was it 24? So he was hurt. It's 24.
Yeah, I was watching the game. Yeah,
it's 24, and this guy
he pulled a Willis Reed.
Yeah, I mean, dude, they were down to Auburn at home 17-6. This is epitomized the Hugh Freeze era. And he leaves and goes to the hospital, and then comes back, suits back up, and leads Missouri back to a win.
Yeah.
And then what he almost did to Carolina at that day. I was there. Give me a bunch of Brady Cooks. 4 was Milroe from Bama, and really led them that 9-4 record. 3 was Jackson Dart, who did have a really good year for Ole Miss.
That was my pick. Remember, I insisted he'd be a first rounder, much ahead of Shadur Sanders.
He was.
Jackson was the real deal.
Number 2, Quinn Ewers from Texas.
Just never became the guy that everybody thought he would be.
And then number 1 was Carson Beck, who was kind of iffy and then got hurt in 24. But I think
24, he led the league in passing, didn't he?
That's 23. 23.
Yeah, so we're talking preseason 24. So
all the hype, and then he kind of had some interception issues and some drop issues. And then,
I'll say this: he'll be in the NFL for 10 years. You mark my words. He'll be in the NFL for 10 years.
I'm kind of with you on that. And after what he did at Miami, I'm with you. I'm a believer, and I was not, and I will admit I was wrong about him. Here's the first line about him not having any competition. Beck would have likely benefited had Arizona State transfer Jaden Rashada arrived in time for spring practice.
Man.
And I'm not picking on Brad. These are very difficult to write, and you could probably go pick apart these types of articles
100%
everywhere, dude.
Just like I wasn't picking on Pate, but he had Lagway 1, and he wasn't alone. And Lagway was terrible. Just terrible.
Sometimes when you hear rumors all summer about something, they end up being kind of true. It's like, so like I heard also, remember when Clemson played Georgia in the opener in Charlotte a couple of years ago? It was 10-3. So I heard all summer, DJU was not going to be good. They were worried, blah, 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 blah. They were worried about the offense. They couldn't protect it, blah, blah, blah. He's turnover machine. Sure enough, that game was decided on a pick 6.
Yeah.
And so you heard all summer about Lagway last year. I don't know. Is he healthy? Is he not? Is he healthy? Is he not? And then he just, there was some speculation that maybe he's healthy enough to roll, but just wasn't doing it. And you could tell very, very rusty from the beginning.
And even, even when he was, I don't know if he was 90%, if he was 85%, I don't know. But here's what I know. If health issues are not the reason you threw the ball into triple coverage, that's a you problem. That's not a shoulder problem. That's not an elbow problem. That's a you problem. He didn't make reads last year at Florida. He made terrible decisions. So whether he was healthy or not, he didn't play very well.
Nah. And looking back to when Florida went on that roll at the end, it saved the day for Billy Napier. Actually, the AD gave him an extension, and then they went and saved the day, right? They beat LSU. They beat Ole Miss at home. If I'm recalling correctly, Florida's defense was just nasty against those two teams.
For those 2 weeks,
27-16, and then they beat. They held on a really good Ole Miss offense to 17 points.
Yep.
Was it really DJ Lagway, or was he just so much better than what they had? I don't know.
Yeah, remember, a lot of people credit Billy Napier getting that extra year with the fact that DJ Lagway did not leave in the portal. So it was almost like a package deal. Like DJ is like, Billy's my guy. You fire him and you lose me. But if you don't fire him, I'm staying. So it was like a Jimmy Chitwood. Coach stays, I stay. Coach goes, I go. So you put all your eggs into a failing head coach who was insisting on calling his own plays, and they were bad ones, because of a 5-star quarterback that played like a 2-star. So it was just all kinds of jacked up. And that's why when you look at all the coaching changes, I mean, they're coaching changes for a reason. Yeah. Every one of those turned disastrous. The one that actually had it going for a while was Kentucky. And then it just went a complete spiral downward. And they got tired of seeing the most boring offense. It resembled something out of the 50s with leather helmets. So now there's all this. This is the great part about this season. Everybody is optimistic and gleeful, and you can't tell them anything is wrong with their team, and it's great. August 24th is great for optimism.
And the problem is somebody's got to lose the game.
Somebody's got to lose.
Half the teams are going to be, if 8 teams in the SEC play the other 8 teams are going to lose.
And you got 8 more losses coming out of the SEC because you have 9 conference games.
Yeah, and on that note, let me riddle me this, Batman. All right, so I keep reading about, as it relates to South Carolina, getting back to the Gamecocks. I keep reading about, oh God, they don't know what South Carolina, boy, they 9 SEC games now for them. Are you kidding? And so I agree. Programs that are in the middle or toward the end, that can't stockpile depth. I don't know that anybody can stockpile depth these days. 9 SEC games is a bear, right?
Yeah.
However, as it relates to this season, are you telling me, oh my God, I cannot believe that we have to go play Arkansas with a 24% blue chip ratio, a bunch of kids from Memphis, an uninspiring head coaching hire, and by the way, they're spending all their money on basketball. Because we needed a breather, and taking that Miami game off the schedule in the opener, that cost us a win. Is anybody saying that? I mean, Carolina basically, as they have Mississippi State, Kentucky, and Arkansas. And so take your pick of Mississippi State or Arkansas, because Kentucky is a permanent opponent. So what would you rather do? Play Miami in the opener with a new coordinator and 4 new offensive linemen and everything else? That'd be a heck of a scene at Williams-Brice, and I can't say the Gamecocks could not have pulled it off, because they absolutely could have. But would you rather play Miami plus Clemson plus 8 SEC games and take one of the little guys off the schedule, the guys you could beat off the schedule, or would you rather kind of look at it for what it is? I mean, I don't know that specifically, and I've seen this mentioned specifically about South Carolina, that it's applicable this season.
No. I mean, taking Miami off the schedule takes away, if you do win that game, an ability to look back at week 1. Because say Miami loses that game and then wins out, and you're like, hey, we beat that team. I mean, that's
as far
for you.
As far as this 9-game gauntlet everybody keeps talking about, the insinuation is they're not equipped to handle.
Yeah, that Carolina doesn't have what it takes to go 9 games. And that's just flat out wrong.
But I just don't know that for this year specifically, and I think they have a point overall. But for this year specifically, Mike, give me Mississippi State, Arkansas, or Kentucky over Miami. I mean, Miami's rolling.
Hell yes. Miami might be the most talented team in the country. I said might be. Don't hold me to that. But the U-Dog definitely has some momentum right now, and they just outbid whoever the hell they want on the hot portal quarterback that they want every year with no change coming. They got playmakers all over the place. They may have the best wide receiver not named Jeremiah Smith. I would love to see that matchup in week 1.
Me too.
Selfishly, because I'm not Shane Beamer. My job is not on the line. I'm not on the hot seat, So selfishly, I would love to see it. But maybe if it was South Carolina, North Carolina, you keep that game, or South Carolina, Wake Forest, you keep that game. But it's Miami, and when Miami is on fire right now. So you do what every other SEC team just about, not named Texas or Georgia, is doing, and they're just dropping these games. Those games are not, they're not coming back. But the three teams you mentioned, JC, those are three of the worst in the SEC by any measure. And you're one of, I think I counted either 3 or 4 SEC teams that gets 3 of those 4, or all 3 of those teams on the schedule. That's why I say, yes, there's nobody's got an easy road in the SEC, and we'll see if Clemson's legit or not. But this schedule, to me, lays out better than what Carolina's had to face the last few years, where if you didn't know any better, you'd say somebody in Columbia pissed off somebody in Birmingham, and that somebody in Birmingham said, we're going to give you the most difficult 8 conference games every year. And I don't see it that way this year.
Yeah, and there's a traveling aspect of it, too. You know, the last 2 seasons, South Carolina's played the same 8 teams, just reversed. Kentucky's been the only team from the Eastern time zone from the SEC they've played,
right?
Of the other,
oh
8.
Wow,
yeah,
I didn't think about that. Yeah,
it's just been it was a very West heavy schedule, and Carolina historically, if anybody looks back on it, they don't do too well against the SEC West. They only have a winning record against Mississippi State of the old division out there. They've beaten Arkansas a few times, but these other teams, no, not so much. But yeah, I just think that, you know, when you look at it, and the Miami series it ended up being 2 Miami's schedule. So for the 2027 game, which was down there, they ended when the ACC went to 9 games, Miami had like 13 and a half games scheduled. So they mutually agreed to get out of it. I don't know of too many ACC teams that had SEC opponents that were like, hey, we got to get out of this. It's too hard. We got to play Boston College now. We got to play Cal on a Friday. We can't play Cal on a Friday and then play Texas A&M, for God's sake.
ACC is all in on Friday nights now.
Somebody call Newberry College, get them on the phone.
That's right.
But yeah, so I just think as far as this year's concerned, because I saw it written about, I think it's Chris Lowe that said it to our guy. That we had an article in Gamecock Central about it that, well, you got to keep in mind it's 9 games now in the SEC. And I was like, well, that's a great talking point. And I think it's true. I think we're going to see a lot of weird stuff because of that overall. But I think when you consider it, so South Carolina, it was like, you know, you're essentially, like I said, replacing a home game. We'll just take the home game because Arkansas is a road game. You basically replace the home game with Miami with a home game with Mississippi State. I will take Mississippi State.
Anybody
in that
would.
Situation, you know, and most people
anybody would.
And
look, nine is overdue, and adapt or die, to quote Brad Pitt in Moneyball. Like we've talked about the strength of Carolina's roster. There's not a lot of weaknesses. There's not a lot of holes. So for whatever Shane has not done right, you take a look at the roster construction, which I think is one of the most important things and skills of a head coach these days. They've got it where they need it to be on paper, JC. I mean, I follow guys like you in the recruiting, and then I follow proven commodities in the portal, and I look at where everything stands on the 2 deep, and I just say that's what it should look like. You're an SEC team. That's what you want to look like. And then you happen to have 3 freakazoid athletes, which is rare even for elite teams to have. And so you're in a great position. I don't. If this season goes sideways, it's not going to be because the scheduling was screwed up. It's going to be because certain guys didn't live up to their billing. There's not going to be any excuses. None. Either do it or don't. And if you don't, there's going to be an interesting offseason.
Yeah. No doubt. There's certain positions, Mike, quarterback being one of them. And look, I think the backup situation is much better than it was last year, but you take Lenore Sellers off the field, you're going to lose something.
Mm-hmm.
there's certain spots, offensive line, they can't be. There's numbers there. There's not the depth they would like to have. Linebackers great. The top three, elite, right? You've got two guys that Nick Saban recruited out of high school and signed at Alabama. He's got a pretty good track record there that are really good. And then, oh, by the way, the third guy's Fred Johnson. After those guys, though, you have bad linebackers, you're not going to win a whole lot of games. We talked about the depth of corner earlier. So injuries, this team, it is a great roster, but there are some depth concerns. But it's so, there's been years, guys, where even last year, heading into last year, we're not sitting here talking about depth.
Right.
We're talking about answers. What are the answers there? And whether or not these are the right or wrong answers, they have answers at all the positions, except kicker, which we're going to talk about in how many days, Phil? 2?
We got 2 more days.
2 days till my special teams freak out. But yeah, they got answers. And I think that is good recruiting. And also, Mike, it's good retention. They've held on to their
100%, which again, I know it's a hot button issue with you. You want to remind people, Carolina is spending money. You don't keep Sellers, Stewart, Harbor, Swain. You don't keep all these guys without spending money. It's not just spending money to get guys. It's not just pay for play. It's pay for stay. And if you don't ante up, you will lose some of. I guarantee you, every guy I just mentioned had multiple phone calls saying, "Hey, grass might be a little greener over here, and we might have some more green for you."
Oh yeah, right. Especially if you're a 4-8 season.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Morale is low. Fans are restless. Good time. It's kind of like you always wanted that girl, and she had a boyfriend, and then the moment you sensed the boyfriend was screwing up, didn't take her out anymore, called her some bad names in the heat of the argument.
You just waited.
You just sat there and you waited and you waited, and then yeah. Time for me to get that new cologne and roll right in.
Sex Panther.
High karate.
Anyway, okay, yeah, and I totally buy that there. They and they did retain pretty good. And that's why, I think most people would, it would be in the Gamecocks' best interest for Shane Beaver to work out as the head coach, obviously. And I was thinking about this. This whole opener thing where everybody's like, Phil, I was terrible at openers.
Yeah.
I did some research or some just memory work. It's not really research. All right. So all roads have, the downfall of his era so far, all roads have led in one direction. In my opinion, when you're talking about the 3 phases of the game, that's offense.
Yep.
All right. So here's how bad openers have been. No, let's start with good. The special teams, all right, in 2022, 2 block punts for touchdowns to beat Georgia State by 21 and pull away, avoid an upset to Sean Elliott's team. 2023, the special teams did pull off a onside kick successfully. That's good. I thought they started pretty well. The defense didn't really play well until the third quarter. 2024, I don't know if special teams did so much, but the defense won them that game. The defense forced 2 fumbles from Old Dominion inside the 10. The offense scored 2 touchdowns on a 6-yard drive and a 2-yard drive and won by 4 points in 24 with a good team. All right. Last year, how important was Vakari Swain and that punt return against Virginia Tech, number 1? And then number 2, the defense held Virginia Tech without a touchdown. Okay. Those phases of the game have showed up big time in the Beamer era for South Carolina. What hasn't? Oh, in North Carolina, that loss, the offense moved the ball inside the 23 times in the second half and came away with a field goal and gave up 9 sacks, which that was a bad O-line, but to a North Carolina team that ended up being very pedestrian, quite frankly. Okay, so where do all roads lead to with the struggles and openers thing? One phase of the game.
Offense.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, look, there was a point where the offense now, not including special teams or defensive scores, failed to hit 20 in 4 straight games. Go back the last, I don't know, 16 games, how many times the offense has not put 20 on the board? That's just not good enough. I'm sorry.
Last year
not good enough.
That was the worst offense since '99, Mike.
No, it was terrible.
And 99, you had reasons. You played 6 quarterbacks. I mean,
yeah, long live Kyle Crabb and Kevin Sides. No, look, you could trace this back a while. Post Spurrier, with a few exceptions here and there, the bigger problem has been offense. There's been some good offensive players that have come through. Some of them you'll watch on Sundays. It's not like Carolina has had no talent on offense. But
good offensive moments in games. I mean,
yeah, of course.
Muschamp beat Ole Miss 48-44, which was you would never thought Will Muschamp. Yeah, it was good. Jake, that 2018 team lost a lot of players on defense injury wise, so they had to outscore teams. They actually, they put up 600 yards against Clemson, but it's been inconsistent. The Spencer Rattler 63-point outburst against Tennessee, and then it's just right back to kind of. And they've had Spencer Rattler and Lenore Sellers at quarterback
back to back
4 years.
Yeah. No, it's
yeah.
It has to improve. Tomorrow I'll throw this out there, and we can chop it up some more. I know you guys still have another hour, but I was thinking about this, and I was thinking about September 26th. Carolina's in Tuscaloosa, because the first 2 games we know what those are all about. Get everybody acclimated. Put up some points, don't get hurt, go 2-0, and then I'm not saying it's a cakewalk, but I'm sorry, if you lose at home to Mississippi State this year, you're in for a long year. So you're 3-0, and at that point, teams in the 20s are going to lose games. Carolina, it could be a top 25 Carolina team in Tuscaloosa. But what have you played to get to that 3-0? Alabama will have already been on the road for an SEC game at Kentucky, and say what you want about Florida State, that's not a layup. At home against Florida State the week leading up to Carolina. So it's a classic tale of 2 different lead-ups, right? One team gets to kind of ease its way in, get everybody healthy, get warm, do offense, do this, do that. Another team is going to get hit in the mouth a few times before they've already play Carolina. I'm interested to see what people think is, what is the advantage there if there is one.
You're forgetting about the big noon kickoff on ABC to open the season. East Carolina and Alabama.
ECU, baby.
Now I'm saying,
is Jeff Blake eligible?
I'm being a little facetious, but they're picked second in the American, and they're much better than Kent State or Towson.
Oh, 100%.
They would beat the crap out of those teams. Probably.
You're exactly right.
So
what do I always say? Like, not all Group 6 now. It's no longer Group 5. The Pac is in that league.
Yeah.
Not all Group 6 teams are built the same, right?
No, ECU does a good job. Yeah, I would say this: if I were in Alabama, I would think, like with Keelan Russell starting him, as long as you can win those 3 games, I mean that's great for him because he's going to get challenged.
Yeah,
I mean because these aren't, like if South Carolina were breaking, and it'd be good if you're bringing a new starting quarterback to play Kenton Towson too, but I think Alabama's first 3 games are very interesting, and especially Kentucky. They're going to be like the Sixth Sense. They don't know they suck. They're not going to know that. They're going to think Kenny Mincy's going to beat Alabama. They could.
That game is. They're already talking about that game in the Bluegrass State. I can tell you that's already sold out. Think about this for Bama. After Carolina, then in Starkville, then Georgia at home, then at Tennessee, then A&M at home. All of that without a bye week. That's how they start the year.
Yeah, we mentioned Tennessee earlier. Tennessee, that when they come to South Carolina, that's their 8th game in a row.
Yeah, advantage.
So, South Carolina. This is another thing about the schedule this year. It's 6 open date 6.
I like that. I think that's like if I'm drawing up the schedule, where do I want my bye week?
Yep, right there.
Right dab in the middle.
You're only going to get one.
If you only get one. Yeah, that's right.
There'll be 2 next year. But anyway, guys,
All right,
enjoyed
Mike.
it.
See you tomorrow, brother.
You got it. Stay healthy.
Oh, yeah. That was the golden tones of Mike Morgan. The Inside the Gamecocks show coming up. We're going to flip over. We're going to flip like McDonald's from breakfast to lunch.
That's right.
Remember falling down? I'd like a double whammy breakfast sandwich. Yeah. I'm sorry. We stopped serving breakfast at 10:56.
Breakfast is over. I know.
And we're definitely going to catch up in the McKellar Enterprises Chat Box. We wanted to get everything out of the way with Mike and Wes. Thanks to them. JC Sherbert enjoyed. I'm talking about myself in the third person now. JC Sherbert enjoy. Filling in for JB. Unga bunga.
Right, having fun.
Tato say. Tarzan say. Remember Todd? Never mind. All right. Mad Dog and I are coming back. Clowns are people too. Cue it up. The show is next.
Gamecock Traditions is your Nike superstore and your home for anything and everything with a South Carolina logo. Visit us in the Midlands and order online at GamecockTraditions.com. Go Gamecocks!
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Contact local agent Gary Patterson for your personal price plan today.
Walk me through the toughest case or situation we've had to handle without names or locations. Just what was the toughest situation?
The hardest one was there was an individual that defended themselves in their home and they're still criminally charged. And there was evidence that they were being sought after for something that they weren't technically involved in. And they're being charged criminally because they defended themselves inside of their own home for doing what was right and what we believe at Right to Bear to be a human right.
TheBigSpur.com, now part of On3. Join for just $1 today.
When you buy and sell your sports and fitness gear at Play It Again Sports, you support a local business. We pay our customers for their quality used sports and fitness gear and resell it, recycling it back into your community. Support local, score savings.
Palm Casual Patio Furniture presents our coverage of South Carolina football. Visit palmcasual.com today. Make your outdoor space the best it can be. Go Gamecocks.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Contact local agent Gary Patterson for your personal price plan today.
A really common fear in a workman's compensation case is what's going to happen to my job if I report this injury? And my answer to that is you still need to report your injury. I'm dealing directly with the insurance company, and the insurance company is going to treat you like a file number. So let me make sure that doesn't happen to you. Let me get involved in your workman's compensation case.
Coffee, weekday mornings with JC Sherbert. Watch or listen on the Chief Sports app, the Chief Sports YouTube page, and available on Apple and Spotify.
Clowns are people too. Clowns are people too. Now I own some tiny horns and got me those red shoes. I don't know much, but know one thing that's true. If you don't know anything, just know that clowns are people too.
Now back to the clowns on the Chief Sports Network.
Welcome in, everybody, inside the Gamecocks, the show here, kicking off. I'm having problems clicking buttons today, but that's all right. I'm Phil Mad Dog Mellanax. He's JC Sherbert. We are in here to get you through the next hour. Well, 51 minutes of show. Had a good morning show today. If you missed it, Wes Clark Wes Mitchell. I always do that. Man, why do I do that? Because it's Chris Clark and Wes Mitchell. But Wes Mitchell of Gamecock Central was in with JC. That is right, JC, not JB, who is feeling a little under the weather today. And Mike talking about some scrimmage intel. I'm sure we've got a few more scrimmage thoughts, JC, to throw out there as the chat box sees fit, as well as we kind of left it open here for a weird Monday
where
open.
it is open, but I will answer everything. And
That's
so will
right.
Phil. We're committed to doing
are
this here on
committed.
the show.
That's right.
Totally interactive on a manic Monday, I guess. I really would prefer not to do 3 hours, but like I was telling JB earlier, this is what teamwork's for, you know.
That's right.
We expect the Gamecocks to go out there and play. Oh, I expect every team to go out there and play as a team. Unfortunately, some don't.
Right. Right.
But you know, we do that here at ITG as well.
Yeah, you know. Got to.
I heard it was cool this morning in South Carolina as well. A little fall nip.
It is. This is that little taste of fall, the false fall, if you will.
The teaser.
Yeah, yeah, because the 90s are coming back. I mean, you know, it's like, yeah, you can't hold it.
It's been, I mean, I walked outside, was it Friday? And it felt like, I was like, hey, are we going to a football? I was like thinking I had to go to a high school football game that night.
Yeah, right.
Trauma for my stepson's last 2 years. But I don't have to do that anymore. All right. So Jay Booty, which is a great username. What's the news on DQ Smith? Not gonna come back. Not gonna be here.
not
he's in the transfer portal and he'll play somewhere else next year. And all that. King at 346 says if LSU is allowed to do what appears, then why have any rules? I mean, I don't understand. I mean, it seems like if you just don't like a rule, then you can, and you're a player, players, and a school gets behind, you know, they can just go to court and the school gets behind you and endorses it and promotes that. That's kind of icky, man. I don't know. Icky is probably a terrible word to use, but I don't even like to say the word icky. It's like using the word silly.
Yeah.
Phil, you're silly.
So silly.
But, so I don't know, 346. I'm like, man, you know, it's just not good for the game. I mean, you're sitting there watching a guy catch a pass in a preseason NFL game, and then now he's going to play for LSU this year. I mean, why would you? I mean, they've got. I think Trez Green is still their tight end. They got a tight end. You need another backup tight end from the pros. I mean, what?
It's like the juxtaposition of law and ethics, right? Like,
yeah.
It's legal, but what we're doing here is completely unethical. It is not in the spirit of the game itself, and truly should, I mean, well, you're not going to get that from the state level judges because they're all, you know, like, yeah, come on, man. Hey, you need a couple guys. I'll sign off on it.
I think this too. I think the NCAA should have used common sense. I think sometimes they do things like based on one thing and apply it like blanketly. And I use the example of football coaches not being able to go to Shrine Bowl practice anymore. College football coaches. For years, that was like, there wasn't any illegal recruiting that went on at Shrine Bowl practice. It was just a bunch of kids from North and South Carolina. And every year, Phil, on Mondays, college coaches would watch North Carolina. On Tuesdays, watch South Carolina. There would be 10 kids every year that would get like Power 4 level offers because of Shrine Bowl, because it was a live evaluation, right? Mm-hmm. It was great. Well, because something in AAU basketball went askew, right? And the NCAA didn't like it. They just banned coaches in general from these events. Banned them.
From any all-star event.
So stupid and hadn't gone back since. And it, see, it cost people opportunities. And I think because of the basketball situation, and you can bet your bottom dollar that some of these presidents and stuff were like, well, gosh, we've already spent all this money on basketball. Now there's going to be a flood of better players. Let's just nip it in the bud and say, nope, they're not eligible. Because these basketball coaches and in that world trying to maximize dollars. Like, I find it hilarious. Somebody wrote an article about Louisville not having any money. And like Pat Kelsey, I mean, they're like spending on their, just because Kentucky did on basketball, they're spending out. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Right.
They're spending more on basketball than like some ACC football programs. I'm like, but then you're going to sit there and whine about money.
Right. Yeah. You can't complain. Right.
You're
part of the problem.
You're on a sport that doesn't bring in a fraction, no matter how good you are. that bring a fraction of the revenue in. I mean, come
Right.
on, man. But I think it was because we were in the middle of basketball recruiting and all that. And they finally were just like, okay, all right, nobody can come back. Okay. And then they didn't really think about football, which is dumb. Because football, and in basketball too, you got all these pro players coming back from Europe and stuff. And it's like, okay, we're just not going to deal with that. There's not enough, we're going to end up costing some people some opportunity. And in basketball, everybody's lost opportunity anyway. So, because of the way that sport is going. They didn't think about the football guys. All they had to do was say, all right, we're going to because it would be much harder to win an injunction if these players had been out of college for a full year and gone pro and either gotten cut or whatever. A year has passed. It'd have been so much easier just to say, okay. And look, they would have still gotten sued because somebody's been out 2 years. Be like, well, I need my dollars, or what? I need to play again. I think it would have been a little more reasonable, but because they pulled the rug out from under these guys, like the NCAA does, they don't give you certainty, and then they're like, oh, it doesn't go your way, then that's perceived as unfair. So I think it's their fault too. I also think once you put on a uniform and play in a game, exhibition, scrimmage, or otherwise in a pro league and get a check, like Mike pointed out, you should be out. That's it. Done.
He had to clear waivers before entering the transfer portal. They waived him, and they're like, well, if he clears waivers, he can go into the college transfer portal. It's like, this is asinine.
My man Churchill, Raphael Pulu, wide receiver from James Island. Churchill's a James Island fan. James Island, big win over Oceanside.
Man. Big, nice statement win over Oceanside.
On fourquarterfriday.com, Rob
Coach
Williams has
down there,
10 teams that made a statement. By the way, there is high school football tonight. I'll go over that schedule here in a second. But James Island, they had a good year last year, and they've really Jamar McCoy's done a great job down there. But yeah, Raphael Pulu is definitely a receiver to keep an eye on down there. So Matt says, thought we were fixing the JT's Kia commercial. Got loud in your backswing. My bad, dude.
I know. Sorry. I don't think we ever committed to fixing the volume on. I mean,
it
is a commercial.
It kind of makes me happy you're listening to us on the golf course.
Right. Yeah. I hate that it screwed up your backswing, but
all right. So we'll fix this. We'll look at it. We got to fix it. Blake says, hire Fisher Brewer, JC. For the Fisher, I don't know him.
Who is Fisher Brewer? Is that?
I think he works for Gamecock Central, doesn't he? I think he does something for us. I think that name sounds familiar. Any thought on the Poppy kid from Pitt? This is Pat Narduzzi allegedly falsely badmouthed him to NFL scouts and teams. Is he suing him or something? Look that story up. Yeah, I think Fisher works for us.
Oh yeah. He is, one of the younger guys. Yeah, Gamecock Central. So he's already on the team.
Yeah, he already works for us, man. The away team is going to have zero room to run with the band spread across the field. I know. Like the band like that.
I was just sitting here thinking, I'm like, okay, so the band creates a tunnel to come out of one side of the field, but not the other. So there's going to be a tight little window of you just essentially just running down your sideline.
Stadiums I've been in where the teams come out on the same end zone. Clemson runs down the hill and the opponents come out the opposite end. Georgia, maybe? Heck, in Michigan, they come out of the same tunnel.
Yeah, everybody comes out of the same tunnel.
They had fights and stuff back there. Maybe at Notre Dame, too. I don't know.
Yeah, apparently this Poppy guy is accusing Narduzzi of trashing or tarnishing his character, is the quote. Tarnished my character.
Is he suing him?
Or
is he just saying that?
Right now, he's just put him on blast publicly, but nobody is suing anybody yet.
There
There was a parent of a Texas freshman corner. Right?
I saw that.
I wonder what
not
Will Muschamp thinks about that right about now.
Yeah.
What's on Twitter? They'd be playing politics. I mean, this kid's a freshman. He's got a lot of upside. Nobody in their right mind said, "Oh, he'll be starting as a true freshman at Texas." I don't.
I doubt anybody promised you that.
I don't know what the expectation was there, sir. But yeah, guess what? You probably took the money and ran to Austin, didn't you?
Yeah, you did.
You ain't upset about all that money.
You didn't do any research on what kind of coordinator you'd be signing up with, did you?
Nothing. Just took the check. Now you're talking about politics? Come on. Dexter says in JC's fan voice, I don't like this. I'll be commenting on the next press conference. Oh my gosh.
I think that's tomorrow at 1:00.
There it is.
You can air all your grievances with us over there. That's what they do.
Ghost says, side note, how great was Gruden's speech at Garcia's quarterback your health event? Very nice job. Absolutely. It was a great event.
Great event. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Eric says it'll be interesting to see how they handle the visiting team running toward the student section with our team running toward the student section as well. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Ghost says, how about our band? Yeah, the band is going to be an issue. Gamecock 346 says, just bring Diego Pavia back.
Fortunately, I think he's a year removed from all of this crap,
Kaiser Sose, Craig. Steph Bridges says, how about what's Clemson's record going to be this year? I said the other day, I see him kind of as an 8-4-ish type of team, but to not be surprised if they beat LSU.
If they win that opener, right?
Yeah. I mean, I can see that happening because I just think, there's all this off the field chatter about LSU and, we're going to get pro players. And it's kind of, and if you listen to what Lane Kiffin actually says about football, which he knows a lot about, he's kind of, hey guys, this may not be, and it's going to be like a coronation. I mean, they're going to just be like, everybody's talking about that Ole Miss game in week 3. Nobody's talking about the Clemson game.
Mm-mm.
Oh, Clemson was 7-6. Oh, we're gonna beat the crap out of them. And I'm telling you, Clemson's got enough. They've got. I know their D tackle got arrested, but man, he had 2 tackles last year. Dude, come on. I know he was a 5-star. I'm telling you,
Georgia still wins games.
I think Clemson's got enough. They got enough speed, and if they have a good game plan, and LSU's not on their, it's kind of like when Virginia Tech went to Ohio State and won that year. In 14 to open it. Mm-hmm. So Bryce says, y'all have a blessed Monday. Thank you. Steph says Summerall is going to be one of the best coaches of college football, is going to wake Florida back up. What's the difference between him and Will Muschamp when Will got there? Nothing. Not a damn thing. Nothing. There's nothing. They're actually kind of similar mannerisms. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that. I guess the difference is Will Muschamp had not been a head coach yet, but Billy Napier had the same record.
Could say the difference between Summerall and Muschamp is the transfer portal,
and it has nothing to do. Yeah, it has nothing to do with Summerall so much as Florida does not do well with defensive-minded head coaches. They just don't. Every coach that's won there has been an offensive guy. And it makes sense if you think about the state of Florida, like where you're recruiting, your footprint,
speed, athleticism.
Speed.
Yeah, right.
Makes total sense. So I don't know. He may, and Steph, I hope you're right for their sake. Lord knows. I tend to kind of empathize more with Auburn people that are suffering than Florida people, just because Florida people on the internet version of them, they kind of get a little bat poop crazy, but all right. Fuller stays healthy and he can crack 1,000 yards. You have several that could. Doc says Matt Fuller. Yeah, we'll see about 1,000-yard rusher. It doesn't happen too often around here, but in this offense, all the numbers kind of go up. Quantrell said, "Isn't Aaron Philo a streaming service? Good luck, Gators."
Right.
Josh points out I shaved the playoff beard. I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Luke says it's so hard to make these rankings, the quarterback rankings, unless you've watched every game for every team as close as you watch your own team, which is impossible. Yeah. Harry says there aren't many good offensive lines in college. Maybe it's the transfer portal guys aren't together 4 or 5 years. Some of the better ones, though, like I thought Vanderbilt had one of the better offensive lines in the league last year.
Yeah, and they have what, 3 transfers?
2 or 3 transfers.
Yeah. I think it depends more on the system at this point than getting these guys
I think coaching gel. I think it's a hard position to play, Phil, because nobody talks about you unless you.
That's right.
Screw up.
Mm-hmm.
And in today's world, and it's hard. I mean, you've got to get in an unnatural position. You get hit every single play. The rules are skewed to the defense. I mean, so I don't know. Pip on a Blimp says, think we will get Captain Munderland's son, JC. I don't know yet. He's young, but maybe.
Was he a 29 kid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a ways out. He's good, though.
Mm-hmm.
Steph says Miami buys the best quarterback year in and year out and it makes me sick. Their strength of schedule is 61. And that's not really what Miami was good. And we were an independent back in the day. They'd schedule anybody.
Right.
Notre Dame, they would schedule. I mean, they played Florida State every year. Even in the Big East, their schedules were tougher. Because think about the Big East. Boston College is falling on hard times now, but they weren't an easy out. West Virginia has had really good teams. Virginia Tech was in that league. Pitt.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Syracuse is a nightmare to go to sometimes up there in that dome. I mean, the Big East was a better league than the ACC.
Yeah, it's odd that moving to the ACC has humbled the U.
Yeah, I know. Humbled. Contrail said, I don't know what South Carolina likes scheduling tough out of conference anyway. No benefit. They need to schedule Maryland. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, I understand, Carolina's fans, half the fans want to schedule teams with a pulse out of conference. Half of them don't.
Yeah.
It just kind of depends on how you look at it. I had no problem playing I had no problem with the Charlotte games, playing North Carolina, NC State. I mean, I don't think it's something you want to do every year. I had no problem home and home, Chapel Hill and Raleigh. South Carolina should beat those teams.
Right.
And then Clemson, but with a 9-game schedule, and the same thing's true. I mean, and that's why I don't necessarily agree with Mike that it was long overdue. That's probably not what he was saying. I don't think there's any reason the SEC should have done that. I mean, I don't. You could mandate that you have to play 2 Power 4 teams. I don't know.
There's no real good way to fix it until you either blow up the playoff structure and fix that and really require strength of schedule to be a contributing consideration for entry into the playoff, as opposed to just, running up and down the records and loosely watching, clips of the past couple of games. Like you're not convincing anybody up there with your little photos of, whatever spread it is they have watching games all day. It's like, okay, yeah, well, that's the one time you actually did pay attention. So let's go pick the winner.
Pick the winner. All right, Phil, let's hit the outro music. High school football is tonight still. So some teams went all the way to Monday. It's been an epic. It's crazy schedule. Now, like in Greenville County. By the way, Malden ended up getting rewarded.
I know. I was at a game that was canceled for Lightning at the end of the first quarter that they just granted the win to Malden. So I don't know. It was an exciting first quarter, though, JC. Man, a lot of action.
Exactly. So, this is coming to you from fourquarterfriday.com. Also, remind everybody about Gamecock traditions, too. You guys know about Gamecock traditions, don't you? You know about that. So these games got rescheduled all the way to Loris at Conway, the Jody Generette era at Conway over in the PD. Also in the PD, Mullins plays Atlantic Collegiate at home. McBee Is it McBee? Macbee?
It's Macbee, yeah. That's how I
at Hemingway. That'll be a good one. Latte Lance is Johnsonville Red Flashes. Golden Flashes play Lake City. That should be good. At Keenan High School in the capital city, Columbia versus Eau Claire. And probably the biggest one on the schedule around the state, Crestwood at Manning. Sumner Crestwood at Manning. So those are your high school football week 1 games tonight. And you can stay tuned to fourquarterfriday.com for all that. Also follow Four Quarter Friday at fourquartersc on X. The Mad Dog and I are chumming our way through the chat box, McKellar Enterprises Chat Box. We'll be back to get to more of your questions on a fill-in Manic Monday and all that. And I'm going to get to the scheduling note of interest to the Gamecocks that Kreger just passed after these messages on the show.
If you own a home, don't wait on these home safety tips. Flush your water heater, clean your dryer vent, and inspect your roof annually. Don't forget to check washer hoses and caulk in wet areas. Visit RestoProsMidlandsSC.com.
The road to success, well, it isn't always a straight one. I tell my kids every day before dropping them off at school, don't take this for granted. Tuition assistance from the South Carolina Education Lottery helped me go back to school when I needed to make a change. And I'm so grateful because now I am where I'm supposed to be.
Better opportunities means a better South Carolina, and a better South Carolina means a better you.
Do you carry? Carry responsibly with us. What could you lose from a Self-Defense Act? Visit protectwithbear.com to find out more. protectwithbear.com.
Troy Branham of Golden Gate Mortgage can help you save big today anywhere in South Carolina. Over 27 years experience. Visit ggmortgage.com. Troy Branham of Golden Gate Mortgage says go Gamecocks.
Dry Space Crawl Space Solutions are your local home protection experts. Crawl space encapsulation, sump pump and drain installs, humidity control, duct cleaning, basement waterproofing, concrete leveling, and French drains. We do it all. Visit dryspacecs.com. dryspacecs.com. Go Gamecocks.
If you have experienced water damage, storm damage, fire or smoke damage, or need mold remediation, you need Resto Pros of the Midlands. Visit RestoProsMidlandsSC.com and go Gamecocks.
Subscribe to fourquarterfriday.com. High school sports coverage in South Carolina. Part of Rivals on 3. And the Chief Sports Network.
Welcome back, everybody, inside the Gamecocks, the show. Final segment of the show here on a Monday episode. Diving into the chat box. We left it wide open because JB was out today, so things got weird. So
Filler.
we get weird in the chat box.
Absolutely. So Kreger says Thursday nights, Towson plays Maine. So you get the advanced scout in.
Yeah, hold
Towson
on. Is that on
Tigers.
TV anywhere? Let's see.
Mostly all. It's probably on ESPN Plus or something.
Is it on
6:30
Plus?
p.m.
Yeah, let's see.
Deputy Smitty. Good to see you, Deputy, in the chat box. Open it up. Don't hold back. Let's hit 50 plus on an offense week 1. Set the tone for the season. 50 is a lot, of course, but seriously, I'd love to see 38 plus, no doubt. Let's go score.
Oh, it's on Flow.
What is Flow? Is that Philo? Like is that the streaming service?
It's like that Flow College or
Oh,
whatever.
the thing. Yeah, I didn't. Well, Matt, I used Matt Anderson's password.
Oh, you know what? Maybe I'm okay.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll be kind enough to share that with me. And
maybe so. Or I'll just maybe he could just watch it and put us a scouting report together for 1,000 and see what they're.
I was thinking I could do a game thread, which would be funny.
I think that on the Insiders Forum,
yes,
that would be something people would get behind, Phil. That would be something people with the Maine Black Bears. So Deputy mentions hanging half 100, and Beamer's actually done that more than Spurrier did.
Yeah,
against lower level competition, especially in Spurrier's first few years. So 45 or more points. So Eastern Illinois obviously got the big one there. And I'm just talking lower level. Now let's go on the under, like we'll go handled business, and then we'll go underwhelming. So 21. So Eastern Illinois would be handled business 46-0. That's an FCS team. Underwhelming Troy. They beat Troy 23-14. I think Troy fired their coach after that year. ECU at ECU, probably underwhelming. It's a road game, but I don't know. Now 2022. All right, underwhelming was the win over Georgia State because they needed 2 block punts for touchdowns to avoid probably losing the game.
Right.
They rushed their leading rusher that night rushed for 39 yards. Carolina's did. They couldn't get a push. But then handle business, Charlotte, they beat them. You remember the Will Healy hype for Charlotte? Yeah. What's he doing now?
What is Healy doing now?
I don't know. Nothing. How about nothing? Then they had SC State. That was a rescheduled game. They beat them 50-10. So, 2022, they kind of handled that business, Furman, I thought that was the first Lenore Sellers touchdown. That was at 23. That was good. Jacksonville State, underwhelming. They almost lost.
Oh, that was a scary game.
That was probably that was the scariest one until the calendar rolled around.
Right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And so then 24. Old Dominion was the king of. I mean, I just don't. I mean, you recover 2 fumbles inside the 10, and those are your 2 touchdowns, man.
I know.
Jesus,
that was a nail biter to say the
very
least.
Tough, very tough. But Akron, 50-7, good. And then Wofford, 56-12. They handled that one. Last year, not much to cheer about. SC State, I'm putting it in the underwhelming category because there were how many non-offensive touchdowns? Were there 3 in that game? 2?
I believe there were 2.
Yeah, I mean, not good. But I do think Coastal was handled it. They handled them pretty well. So Beamer against lower level competition, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games, 50 or more. And then 47 against Furman, 46 against Eastern Illinois. So that's 7. And then there's been some where they've sort of struggled. But in all of those they've struggled, it's been because of the offense. Because the defense and special teams have bailed them out. So I hope there's some points. I hope they put some points on Kent. Kent's not terrible.
No.
They were the worst MAC team or one of the worst teams in the country on the FBS level 2 years ago. But then their coach, his name's Carney, he was the interim last year, and they won 5. They were 5-7. They weren't particularly great, but they were a tough, hard-nosed team. There are worse teams Carolina's played than Kent. Eastern Illinois would be one. The worst team ever. This Kevin Harris was a true freshman. I think he rushed like 6 times for 175 yards. Was that in 2019, week 2, that Charleston Southern team?
Charleston Southern, man.
Not only were they bad, dude, they had to practice in Charlotte all week because of a hurricane.
Yep.
So they were just dog tired. Carolina beat them 72-10. There's Helinski for Heisman talk. And I was talking to somebody, kind of inside the building after that, when they're like, I don't think people understand how bad Charleston Southern is. It was bad.
And man, they were right.
Ghost Flame says the film guy had a nice pod on Sellers 2 days ago. It's a quick listen. Broke down the Clemson game and showed some good stuff on 16. Yeah. And by the way, on 3 announced today, Brooks Austin, the film guy, he's partnering with us this year. So he's going to be part of On 3. I love to see that. Brooks is good. He's really good.
Yeah.
At what he does. So, yeah. And there were some disturbing things there too. The thing he does when he breaks the film down, he'll point out, we don't always see it. He'll point out when some guys are loafing and stuff like that. That was very like Vandrevius Jacobs in the A&M game. I mean, we remember the touchdown reception and then some other catches he made. And then you kind of look at the rest of his plays. It's like, that's very underwhelming. So Josh misses the full clown intro. Yeah, we just time, because
just
we're
want to try to keep it tight. Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
You can get that song on iTunes or I guess Apple Music is what it's called now. S.E. Scott guy says we need the team to come out and play with the fire and anger that JC had last week in his defense of JB. I was a regular Wally Riggendorf from Necessary Roughness.
Yes, you were.
Played by the great Robert Loggia. May he rest in peace. Blake says we had a nice super dense fog this morning in Kentucky, and it was 60 on the money. Felt of football and such. Cam said, JC, who's your 5 with Peak out on the O-line? If you've already mentioned it, my bad. No, I'll go ahead and go through it. I think right now best bet is left tackle Surratt. Left guard would be Purvis or Hay. Center Carter Miller, maybe Hay. Right guard Kojo Poku. Right tackle Arnett. Maybe Darius Gray. But I think Dane Arnett would be the starting right tackle right now. So women's soccer upset Clemson. Coincidence? Nope, just Nike. Quattro says. Nike is Sonata,
Yeah, man. Hey. Leveled the playing field.
Yeah, exactly. Blake says Tennessee needs to be blowing DQ Smith up. Yeah, they're a little thin at safety. Ethan says there's only one Gamecock Ethan around here. Absolutely. Demetric says, I really need to see Beamer have a good week 1. I don't know how Beamer can rally the troops when we were underdogs, but not when we were supposed to win. I don't think Demetric, 2/3 of the team under him plays like gangbusters. They've saved the day in his openers.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And that's what I don't think I've ever thought about that. Cause it's like, it's a blanket like Beamer. Beamer's offenses struggle at openers. Bad. Like inexcusably bad.
Like real bad. Right.
Because if you look at it, the special teams and defenses, they've shown up so I think against North Carolina and Charlotte, that was not a good, the 23 defense was probably Clayton White's worst defense until the end of the season.
Yeah.
But they gave up some pass. Drake May got after him a little bit. They were not what I would call super duper. But at some point in that game, it looked like North Carolina was going to run away with it. At some point in that game, they're 31-14. Carolina got an interception. They started stopping them, right? They started getting them off the field. And the offense drives inside the 20 3 times, comes away with 3 points. I mean, ridiculous.
Yeah, you can't live like that.
No, and 9 sacks. I mean, and I don't even think people understand how close that Georgia State game was. If it weren't for the special teams and defense. Georgia State was hard to stop. Sean Elliott's offense is hard to stop.
Mm-hmm.
And sure, they gave us some rushing yards, but they held back. And then those 2 block punts, speaking of DQ Smith, were huge. I mean, and then Old Dominion, I don't even know how the hell that happened.
Yeah, that was.
I mean, it just because Carolina won, everybody was upset, rightfully so. And then the next week they went to Kentucky and dominated. And then, game day's coming. So things just changed in 24 hours. But I mean, you that kind of offense, and that's how you get beat, because how you take, like, Old Dominion had an interesting scheme on both sides or whatever, but you should be able to out athlete those teams that put points on the board. You know, that kind of thing. So that was something else. Blake says, does Faison get his 5th year? Not gonna be here.
That's right. Yeah.
You're gonna be here. So Daddy says, how does LSU only have 4 kids on the basketball team in late August? They have more than that, but they're all pros that they're trying to sue to get eligible.
Yeah, they're trying to get them eligible. Yeah.
Oh man. So Colin says, let me get to RJ. If you think about it, anyone can play professionally and go back to school again. Why can't they play athletically in college if they've already played professionally? LOL, just playing. I didn't see you're just playing until I read that, RJ, but thanks.
That's right.
Unrealistic parents have been amusing me for decades. Yeah, that guy in Texas. I was like, I wonder what, because this corner is a good corner upside wise, but he's just not somebody that.
He's probably just not ready yet. And, you know, hate to inform you, but that's a pretty complex defense with that guy running it. So it might take you a year to learn it.
Exactly. No doubt. Luke says, I thought Summerall did well at Tulane. Yeah, and Troy. But Billy Napier won just as many games at Louisiana. Louisiana wasn't an SEC school like Tulane was.
Yeah,
Tulane's got that dripping
right.
tradition, the Green Wave.
Tulane, best college football program in Louisiana.
I can't tell if Daddy O's being sarcastic about Gainesville, Florida being a beautiful town or not.
I don't know. I've never been to Gainesville.
Josh says, what's going on with the band? I missed it. Okay, so here's the thing. So, and everybody needs to be aware of this because it's going to mess with you. All right, so the visitors' locker room has been changed. It is now in the southeast corner of the end zone, whereas it was in the northwest. So they're coming. The visiting team will be streaming out of their locker room on the same over where the zone is, just on the east side where their fans are. And so you're gonna be sitting there watching 2001. You know how sometimes opposing teams will come on before 2001 or after or during.
Yeah, during.
So it's gonna mess with you if you don't know. You're just gonna be sitting there going, well, you're gonna be watching Cocky in the box and all that. And 2001, you're like, well, wait a minute. You know, you may think something's wrong, like there's an emergency. Because I know when I'm sitting there watching a game, if I see something I think's out of place, I'm like, whoa, what's that? Everybody's got to be aware of it. Somebody named John Strickland. I think it's another John Strickland. In the 80s, Carolina played Miami twice, 86 and 87. Yeah, I was at the 87 game with my dad at the Orange Bowl. That was interesting. So Ghost says he was explaining that.
Mm-hmm.
Colin says only makes sense to schedule hard if the committee and bowls respect it. They clearly don't. They're idiots.
A non-factor, right? Mm-hmm.
Harrison says the 9-game league schedule hurts the league more than it helps us. Sankey could regret the move. I know. I mean, that was why they just could. Yeah. Why? I mean, the networks weren't even like beating down the door to try to get the inventory and pay them more money. It was just kind of weird.
Right. Yeah.
It says the Big Ten still can't believe we fell for the 9-game pressure. Yeah.
So crazy. It just another slip up. I mean, it's been so well documented, JC, that you just can't trust the Big Ten at all. And yet, sure enough.
I don't know if I should laugh at this or cry. Scout guy says it's MacB. Their entire police department and mayor just got arrested.
Wow. Hold on, I got to see this.
I don't even know what's going on. Cockaway says Philo, as in Aaron Philo, the starting quarterback from Florida, is the super thin dough they used to make baklava. So, X-Man says, I give Beamer props. The man's a miracle worker. Every time it seems like he might lose a fireable game, he pulls out a win. Harrison had a bad feeling against Jacksonville State. I did too, brother. I did too. I was like, oh, you know.
Yeah. And the legend of Stone Blanton.
Stone Blanton. So, Chaco says this is an older Gamecocks team. I don't think they're going to sleepwalk the first 3 games. Yeah, I think a lot of the returning players too are anxious to get out and kind of show everybody they're not good. And then you've got a lot of freshmen they're going to play too that are anxious.
Mm-hmm.
So Ethan says, y'all want to hear something mind-blowing? Robbie Ashford had more passing yards than Lenoris last year. Shows how bad the offense was. Yeah. Luke says Gamecocks versus Gamecocks was a huge win. Could not lose that game. I don't care that we should have crushed them. Yeah, I was relieved.
Yeah.
I was relieved. And you know what? The next week against Vanderbilt, it was a rainy, ugly day. Carolina kind of took care of business. Lenoris got in, ran that little touchdown, which was awesome.
Yeah, because that was Rich Rod's team, right?
That was a Rich Rod Jacksonville State team. And they were going to be difficult, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know. Sir James says, I thought that was further in the renovations, not this season. Not according to the state newspaper who reported it today. So, yeah, Jordan reported it. Yeah. All right. And Donati was quoted as saying he said it's a nice locker room.
It's a nice locker room.
But it's a nice locker room. Some schools in the SEC, they'll just put you in just garbage.
Oh, yeah. It's just, no. It doesn't have to be anything special.
My thing is this. You do that nowadays, the chances of the opposing coach rallying the troops and being like, look at the crap they put us in, because kids care about stuff like that now, you know. I would just, I wouldn't go overboard, but I'd make it, nicer than some of the places that just deliberately put you in, I mean, because he softened them up a little bit. You know?
Right. Yeah. Stick them out there in the old field house or whatever.
Yeah. It's the field house. Quantrell says, just saw where Jordan Adams playing for SMU. I remember he was elite. He was an elite recruit, Deke Adams' son.
Mm-hmm.
Deputy Smitty mentioned in blah games 17 versus Louisiana Tech. Now that was another win that I didn't feel good about.
Mm-hmm.
The game of Skip Holtz had us in misery all day. Brian Edwards with a Hail Mary type catch and the field goal. I left Williams Rice with a migraine. Yeah, me too. Quantrell asked if I knew anything about patches for the uniforms. I don't. It's something they'll sell eventually, probably.
Yeah.
But that was a stressful game, Louisiana Tech. I mean, it was 16-0. I thought they were going down.
Yeah, it was not good.
Tyson Williams runs a touchdown. Then I think they had another TD. And then Jake throws the ball up. Brian Edwards catches it. And then Parker White hits the game winner. It's good game winner. So Jeff asked, do I know anything about Kent State, how many starters they have back this year? They got most of their good players left during the portal. They're all right. So their big time kicker returner, his name's Darealist
Clark.
He's their primary weapon. Darealist Clark.
So just boot it out of the back of the end zone and, neutralize.
Lima, Ohio, which I think is the hometown of Joe Morrison. But I don't know how he stayed and didn't get in the portal, but he's I'd have taken him somewhere and just let him return kicks. But he's a really good player. They're like a lot of the MAC of all the lower level conferences, the MAC, because they find guys that are good, like, because they all recruit Ohio, and that's not as heavily of a foot traffic state as maybe some places down south, but you can find great athletes there. So all these guys that get into the MAC that turn around, that none of those schools have any money. Some of them probably shouldn't have football teams, but they do. And so they just get destroyed. I mean, like schools like Memphis go and take guys from the MAC.
I know.
Other group of fives. But then they go and get players from FC that are, I mean, so I think there's probably 6 returning starters. So, Jed York was arrested over the weekend in Ohio. He's the 49ers owner. Possessing criminal tools. What is that?
What is possessing criminal? What is that, like a paraphernalia charge?
Criminal tools.
Criminal tools.
Oh, gosh. So
it's like a set of metric wrenches in the back.
Yeah. TD missed the whole show today. Just want to say finally made it back.
Oh, you're good, TD. It's all right.
Deputy,
you know where you can watch it.
Yeah, he can always run it back. Deputy.
Oh, excuse me.
I was trying to hold it off till the end.
Oh, you're good.
Deputy Smitty about Dorelis Clark. He's like, with a name like that, I'll just respect it and kick away from him.
Yeah, you just don't even want to mess with that, right?
He's a really good player. Shane Beamer will talk a lot about him, and then they've they're well coached. They're going to come in here and try. It's been
their quarterback is returning after an all MAC second team honor.
So what's his name? Deshaun
Drew DeShields.
Drew DeShields.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot about him. Luke says, didn't Carolina lose to Wofford one time? Way a long time ago.
That's back when you didn't schedule Wofford because they were running that stupid option crap.
No, but Carolina didn't lose, though. They never lost to Wofford.
Scared
crapless twice. 3 times. Even the 2012 team struggled with Wofford. It was 24-7. But they did lose to Citadel twice in my lifetime. They lost to Furman. Furman beat him, I think, in 82. Yeah. Carolina
that
needs
was
to be
back
past
Furman
that.
was good, though. You know, that was
that was a really good Furman team.
Golden time.
Crazy. Oh. Cal Gate would scare the poop out of me if I were an upstate school person. Oh, yeah. All the ACC teams that have gone west on a Friday have lost.
They have struggled or just flat out lost.
Look, man, there's some salt of the earth Clemson people around our state that love their Tigers, and they're going to follow them everywhere. I want a video. I want a vlog.
We need somebody in
bed
bed in
Berkeley.
Yeah.
I thought it was so hilarious when Auburn went out there a couple of years ago. I talked to some Auburn people like, it's weird. It was really weird out there. These Clemson folks. I mean, they have experience, and it's not the Bay Area necessarily that's the problem. They won a national championship in the Bay Area.
Right.
But it's Berkeley itself. That ain't Santa Clara or Palo Alto or San Jose or the Tech. It's in many ways the land that time forgot. I mean, you come around the corner like Toontown and Who Framed Roger Rabbit, the Looney Tunes music starts playing. You go around the corner of Berkeley and California Dreaming by the Mamas and the Papas start playing. All the leaves are brown. There's some chick over there in a dress with hairy armpits giving you the peace sign, smoking a J.
That's right.
All of a sudden you feel the need to go to like a mellow mushroom pizza or something. I like that mellow mushroom now. One in Pickens is really good.
Been here 15 minutes. I'll tell you what, I'm hungry.
Hang on, mellow mushroom in Ainsley. Oh, God, Deputy Smitty mentions Navy. Spurrier ran Marcus Lattimore 40 times to beat them.
Yeah,
dude,
right.
You want to talk about scheduling? Everybody complains about Tanner's scheduling. I'm going to take you back to the Eric Hyman era. All right, number one, the reason that East Carolina game was at East Carolina, Shane had to play that one.
Yeah, that was a holdover.
He scheduled UCF during the same season Carolina went to the Citrus Bowl. It's trip to Orlando on the road, UCF on the road, right? And scheduled Navy at home. Navy.
Fun.
SEC Scout, that's my
that's
wife.
the way football should be played, JC. That's why we scheduled them, because they do it the right way.
They do it the right way. Chaco says a lot of the devil's lettuce in the air at the Cal game, probably. I see Scott Guy's wife's uncle and family from Pamplico are going to the Cal this year. Clemson people. He is afraid someone's going to jump them and inject them with the COVID vaccine. No joke. Oh my God. Now wait a minute. That's Pamplico, South Carolina. There. Oh my God.
Wow. Well, you know what?
Wow.
That's all I can say.
Dude, but yeah, it's but like I said, I mean, Clemson's been to the Bay Area. Like, they beat Alabama out there a couple of years ago. But this is the other side of the Bay. This is Oakland and Berkeley.
And those two things are not, necessarily the same, right?
Before you
see somebody
slip.
get turned around in damn Oakland,
Oh yeah, Oakland. Yeah,
down there,
dude. Before you slip into unconsciousness, it's like the Doors. You're like, oh God. Cal students climbed and lived in trees around their stadium a few years ago out of protest.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
They go protest the Clemson Tigers. Nobody tell them about Ben Tillman, please.
Right.
We don't want to embarrass the state like that.
That's
That
right.
crazy because they, a lot of those folks out there live in the past anyway. They're like they still think we're in the 1800s down here in the South.
Yeah, that's right.
They may think it's real. We may have a rivalry with Clemson, but you don't want it to go that far.
No, you need to just kind of
There are some nut jobs.
That's right.
Lunatics out there, Weather Underground style lunatics.
The farther you push out this return trip for Cal, this home and home needs to be ages apart.
Yeah, dude. Oh,
you try to delay that till the Super League takes hold. That way you don't have to play it.
Quantrell says, I don't think they have a Pixie and Bills in California. Probably not. Yeah, those students out there probably
$2 bills, man. It's gonna be great.
College students have lost their mind too. They may start protesting the animal husbandry program at Clemson. They can get something that it's not. Like, I just don't think you should be marrying. Got the patriarchy, the animal patriarchy.
You got to figure
husbandry.
There's a healthy PETA, out there on that on that campus.
A lot of those PETA people don't even care about animals. They want to euthanize them.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
I mean, I'm like, literally read a story. Some kid's dog got off a leash, and the PETA people took it to the shelter and had it euthanized by like noon 30.
Irresponsible owner.
Oh, dude, I would have to be restrained.
Oh yeah, that would not be okay.
And it was like, Phil, it was just a kid's dog. The kid accidentally let the dog out of the house, couldn't find it.
Right.
Mommy, and they just took the dog and euthanized. We're going to put you out of your misery, dog, for these people that love you and take care of you and feed you like burgers and scraps and yummy stuff and rub your belly so you don't have to go hunt for your food.
That's right.
And get eaten by a coyote. What a miserable existence you must live in. All right, this has been a lot of fun. I won't be on for 3 hours tomorrow.
No.
Thankfully. Quantrell says nothing but smoothies and lettuce wraps past the Texas border. Yeah, I've always had trouble. Like even a place like Colorado that has like a Western, you think good steaks or something. No. Thanks to Mike Morgan for joining us today. Wes Mitchell, the Mad Dog, Phil Mullinax, and JB will likely be back tomorrow. You may have me, probably not. Enjoy these high school football games tonight. It seems it's never going to end this weekend. And then week 2. FourQuarterFriday.com, also thebigspur.com, complete coverage, GamecockCentral.com of the scrimmage this past weekend. All sorts of good breaking news and all that good stuff, intel as we get closer to football season. We will holla at you soon, folks. This has been Inside the Gamecocks, the show. See you later.